Eastern Conference Southern Division Playoff 1984. Today's game has the Tampa Bay Bandits and the Birmingham Stallions playing for the right to advance to the Eastern Conference title game against Philadelphia next Sunday. It's the USFL. It is a hot, hazy day in Birmingham, Alabama. Today's divisional playoff has the Tampa Bay Bandits against the Birmingham Stallions, two teams that played here last week. It is a large crowd. The United States Football League is an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game is being brought to you by light beer from Miller, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. By AC Delco. General Motors Corporation has quality replacement parts for just about anything that moves. AC Delco, the smart parts. By new, improved Head & Shoulders shampoo. It's rich and thick with a fresh new scent and improved dandruff control. Available in regular and conditioning formulas. And by Ford, and your local Ford dealer, who invites you to see the 1984 Ford cars and trucks. Have you driven a Ford lately? The temperature is about 83 degrees. The high today is expected to be at 85 degrees. The humidity, 60%. There is a light breeze blowing. It is partly cloudy, and it is hazy. It is 84 degrees, but I want you to look at the numbers on the bottom of that graphic. 117 degrees on the field. So the best conditioned athlete will feel the pressure and the exhaustion here this afternoon. This is Steve Spurrier, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Bandits. He rewrote the record books as a Gator in Florida. He was the Heisman Trophy winner in 1966 and a first-round draft pick of the San Francisco 49ers in 1967. Raleigh Dodge, he knows the pressure of playoff games, having been with the Pittsburgh Steelers coaching staff 5 years. He collected 2 diamond-studded championship rings there, symbolic of Pittsburgh's back-to-back Super Bowl titles. This is Cliff Stout. He did not play in the game between these two teams last Sunday. He had an injured shoulder. Today, they say he is healthy. The numbers on him are impressive. John Reeves, the strong-arm quarterback from Florida, had his go in the National Football League, has been impressive this year, hitting nearly 58% of his passes. The only knock against John Reeves, they say he does not have quick feet, but he does have a strong arm. He's got a tremendous ability to lead his team. Our referee today is Verl Sorgren. He is out at midfield as the captains saunter out that way. They are doing everything in their capability to maintain their composure, try to keep all their energy lined and ready to go when the kickoff comes. John Reeves, of course, the quarterback, and he is out there. Tommy Banks, the longtime center, 54, first the guy to sign here with the Birmingham Stallions. 4-time All-Pro, longtime National Football League player. He is the leader of that Birmingham team.
Who calls the coin toss? What is your call? He calls heads. Heads is the call. Call is heads. The coin is tails. We'll receive.
So Birmingham has won the toss. They have a defense first. We'll see them. Raleigh Ball gets it first. So it is the Tampa Bay Bandits and the Birmingham Stallions coming up shortly after these messies on the field here at Legion Field, Birmingham, Alabama. I'm Tim Brandt along with Lee Grosscup. Have you recovered from yesterday's game, Cupper, out in Los Angeles?
Still getting my voice back. Longest game in professional football history. It was nice to be there with you, partner.
Von Mansfield is number 45. Lonnie Johnson, number 33, the deep men for Birmingham. They will receive. The numbers on Lonnie Johnson are impressive. He's out of Indiana, 6'1", 200-pounder. And he can fly. He's got 4.8 speed. Birmingham has scored 539 points this year, which is second only to Houston. Most prolific offensive team. This is Tampa Bay. The special teams. The man kicking off, Zenon Andrusician. He's out of UCLA. Former javelin thrower in Canada. The Canadian champion. His dream was to play in the Olympics. Instead, he gets this. The conference playoff game. The divisional playoff game for the right to go and play in the conference championship game. This is Lonnie Johnson, right side. Gets a block and takes it out to the 35-yard line. Take a look at the talent now on the Birmingham offense. You start with Cliff Stout, the quarterback from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Joe Cribbs, the leading running back in the league, along with Leon Perry, the big bull who runs at fullback. The wideouts, Jim Smith, and the little flyer from Alabama, Joey Jones. Robert Woods, Buddy Idlett, Tom Banks, Mark Battaglia, Pat Phoenix, Robert Earl. Your offensive line. It is a right-handed team, likes to run traps. They like to stay behind Phoenix and Saindon. On plays exactly like this one. Joe Cribbs, right side, behind Phoenix and Saindon. The defense that will try to stop that right-handed attack, Mike Butler, Walter Carter, Ron Simmons, Mike Clark. Walter Carter blocked the extra point to give Tampa Bay the 17-16 win between these two last week. The linebackers, James Harrell, Paul Borowski, Alonzo Johnson, Jeff George, Doug Benoit, Zach Henderson, and Bruce Fawn in the secondary. It is 2nd and 4 from the 42. Jim Smith jumped too early. The ball is almost intercepted. It was intended for Jim Smith, but I think he jumped too early. There is a flag.
Paul Borowski, the linebacker identified there, has been one of the leading tacklers on the team.
It is against Jim Smith. They'll back him up and replay the down.
Borowski is the man who tipped the football away from Smith after Cliff Stout had gone to play action pass.
Illegal motion. Number 86, offense. Penalty decline. 3rd down.
These two clubs have played 4 times in the last 2 years. 1 point separates the difference. The officials today, Verl Sordren, Ed Manning, Robert Walker, Dave Hatima, Chet DiStefano, John Everett, and Wesley Ward. 4 receivers now for Birmingham on 3rd down and 4. This is Cribbs on a swing pass. 1st down, Stallions. Fred McAllister rides him out of bounds, but Cribbs has the first down of the ball game.
Good call from the sidelines on 3rd and 4. They went to the ace back, meaning that Joe Cribbs was the lone back. 7-step drop by Stout. He looked downfield first. Joe Cribbs coming out of the backfield here. Motion man up the seam. Stout looks to his right. That sets it up for Cribbs coming on a swing pass back to the left. Fred McAllister, number 46, runs him out along the left sideline.
A 9-yard pickup, 1st down, right side, Cribbs. Cribbs up close to another 1st down for the Stallions. Borowski makes the tackle. He's got 4.5 speed in the 40, low center of gravity, exceptional balance, and the uncanny sense to anticipate blocks.
With Pat Saindon, number 74, the strongest man on Birmingham's team, leading the way, Joe Cribbs ran that long trap play on the right side, which has been his favorite running play all year long. On that play, the left guard, Buddy Idlett, most consistent lineman for Birmingham, pulls and leads the play.
1st down by that much. Joe Cribbs, the first selection of the Buffalo Bills, 2nd round in the 80 draft. Draft pick of the Bills, got from the 49ers for O.J. Simpson.
Cribbs off to a fast start, Tim. 2 carries, 16 yards. They're going right to work at what they do best. Raleigh ball. That means possession football.
Birmingham territory at the 39. Smith and Jones, the wideouts. Perry and Cribbs, the setbacks. 1st down. The fake to Cribbs. Stout, left side on the boot. He's going to lose 2 yards.
That's not a boot, I don't think, Tim. It's a busted play. I think he was going for a double dive, and there was a mix-up in the backfield. Cliff Stout, despite the fact that he's been an effective runner this year with 440 yards on the season, and also the best rushing quarterback among NFL QBs in 1983, that time he found himself in the throes of a busted play. He made the most of it.
It's been a fast turnaround for Cliff Stout this year as well. Cliff Stout played for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. Took him to the AFC playoff games. Now comes right back in the spring to do the same with Birmingham. 3 down linemen by the Bandits. 4 linebackers, nickel back. Stout in trouble again. And he gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe picked up 1 yard before Mike Butler tracks him down.
Mike Butler, the man who leads the team in sacks with a total of 11. There you see his statistics. He's out of Kansas. He's an 8-year pro, was an All-American at Kansas in the mid-70s. And he was the man who was on Cliff Stout's trip trail as Stout tried to roll to his right that time, find someone downfield.
Butler started 6 years with the Packers in the NFL. He had knee problems, wears a knee brace, still showed a lot of versatility that time.
Third down, big third down play here, Tim.
Third down, Birmingham converts on third down 49% of the time. Ken Talton, Joey Jones, and Jim Smith, the wide receivers. This is Stout with time, and he has the completion, but he doesn't get the first down. Ken Toller is nailed. 2 yards shy of the first down marker. Paul Porowski, James Harrell, Mike Butler, we're all there. Great pursuit by the Bandits.
Stout had plenty of time to throw.
Fourth down and 1, and Birmingham's going to go for it.
Raleigh Dodge is known as a conservative coach, but he has consistently gone for the big play on fourth down throughout his coaching career.
We saw this 4 times yesterday in the LA Coliseum. Los Angeles went on 4th and 1 4 different times and ended up 4 for 4. This time Cliff Stout wants a timeout. Jay Repko is in the ballgame. Robin Earl and Mark Battaglia. So, with timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. Things have heated up quite quickly in Raleigh Dodge. Faced with his first of, I'm sure, many major decisions for this afternoon's ballgame. It is 4th and 1.
Don't forget last week on 4th and 1, they went for the whole load play action pass and threw the ball to the tight end, Robin Earl.
2 tight ends, Robin Earl, Jay Repko. They also bring in Pat Saindon, Pat Phoenix on the right side along with Earl Gant. It's strong side right. Play action. Going deep again. Cribbs open. He's down at the 1-yard line. Joe Cribbs.
Just as I was saying, 2 weeks in a row, they go play action pass on 4th and 1. Fake to Leon Perry first. Joe Cribbs circling out of the backfield, beats Anderson, number 26, and nearly takes it in for the score.
A 29-yard pickup. They mark the ball at the 1-foot line. Cliff Stout now 3 for 4. 46 yards. Strong side left. Perry and Cribbs, the setbacks. 2 tight ends. Quarterback sneak. No indication. It'll be 2nd and goal.
Remember the ruling, the ball must break the plane of the goal line. And in that case, I don't think the ball did. I think his shoulders did, but not the ball. Good effort by Kelly Kirschbaum, number 51, who's playing with pain today.
They stay with 2 tight ends. It's Cribbs and the big Leon Perry. The inside give to Perry. Still no indication. It'll be 3rd and goal. Steve Spurrier.
Tim, this is as close as you can get. Big Leon Perry behind the left side. Takes the ball right to the 1-inch line again. Kelly Kirschbaum, number 51, is up from his linebacker position to shut the play down. He leads the mass of tacklers right there.
The key on goal line defense. The down linemen try to penetrate 1 yard deep in the offensive backfield and let the linebackers fill. It's 3rd and goal. Touchdown Birmingham. Cliff Stout.
No doubt about this one. Wedge blocking, quarterback sneak. Call your own number. Stout is 6'4", 215 out of Youngstown State. And he's right in behind the veteran Tom Banks, number 54.
Cliff Stout's 10th touchdown of the year rushing. Danny Miller for the extra point. No question about it. And the Stallions break 7-0. So, just like last week when these two teams squared off, they went on 4th and 1 for the big gainer, and they've scored. We've got a 7-0 ball game. We'll be right back at Legion. Has picked up the excitement here at Legion Field that Lee Groscup and I left at the LA Coliseum yesterday. That great game between the LA Express
and the Michigan Panthers.
What
a ball game that was.
27-21 the final on that one. We'll have the halftime highlights. Jim Lampley will in New York at halftime. Danny Miller to kick off. The deep men, Alvin Bailey and Ricky Williams. This is Alvin Bailey to the 10. Looks for a block. Gets out to the 23-yard line. Let us set the offensive lineup for you then. John Reeves is the starting quarterback. Out of Florida, we talked about him and we amplified on his abilities. He is a strong-arm quarterback. And the rest of the running backs, Gary Anderson and Greg Boone. Greg Boone, the leading running back. Spencer Jackson, Wilford Morgan, the wide receivers. Dan Fike, Pitcock, Foot, Newton, and Kenai, along with the tight end Marvin Harvey. Perhaps the strongest tight end in the league. Harvey certainly going after all USFL honors. First down at the 10, the ball on the 23. This is Reeves, the give is to Anderson. Gets a block, cuts against the grain, picks up 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5. Dan Fike through the key block.
Gain of 4 yards.
The Birmingham defense is interesting. They will run 4 down linemen today. They did have a 3-4 scheme early in the year. Mike Perko, Jackie Klein, Joe Cugliari, and Dave Purifoy. The 3 linebackers are Herbie Spencer, Bill Rowe, and Taft Sales. They will go 4 defensive backs. They'll go 5 and sometimes a dime. It's Dennis Woodbury, Ray, Clanton, and Evans. Chuck Clanton did not play last week with stitches in his hand. This is Joe Cribbs. Had the big 29-yard catch on 4th and 1 to set up Cliff Stout's touchdown just moments ago.
Along with 2 carries for 16 yards, showing his all-purpose abilities on the initial drive.
8 minutes, 21 seconds remaining in the first quarter. This is Boone, left side, big hole, first down to the 45, the 47-yard line. Dennis Woodbury had to catch him from behind. Boone got to the secondary quickly on a trap.
Here's the battle of the trenches, and watch the left side of Tampa Bay's line right there that sets it up on a crossfire action for Greg Boone. Nate Newton was the man who pulled and led the way. Boone came into today's game with 1,009 yards, the leading rusher on the team, ahead of Anderson at 1,008.
The first Tampa Bay first down of the game. Long trap play, set it up, 21-yard gain. This is Reeves to throw, in traffic. Knocked away nicely. It was intended for Willie Gillespie. Here's Mike Adamle down on the sidelines.
Cliff, the original first 4th and 1 play was called off at the line of scrimmage, and you called timeout, and then Raleigh called the play to Joe Cribbs.
Well, we didn't have the right people on the field for the first one. We had a little mix-up there, trying something new we haven't done all year, and we just got a mix-up of personnel on the field. We came back and just went with a check with me. At the line of scrimmage, they showed the coverage at the middle open, and we went to what we call trap pass right down the middle of Cribbs. It worked against Denver a few weeks ago. It almost worked again.
Okay. Tim?
2nd and 10, Michael. Wilford Morgan to the top of the screen. Willie Gillespie. At the bottom are your wide receivers. Play action. Reeves has a man. It's intended for Harvey. No flag. Good no call. David Evans was a defensive back. Awfully close to pass interference, but it was a good no call.
David Evans, who is labeled the X-back, as in extra back, was on the coverage there. He is the fastest man in the secondary. He was covering Marvin Harvey, who has now emerged as the premier tight end in the league. He has 4.5 speed in the 40-yard dash and has 70 catches on the season. He once ran the 100-yard dash in 9.7.
The tight end flexes 5 yards off the line. That's Marvin Harvey. Willie Gillespie to the bottom of the screen. Morgan to the top. 3rd and 10 from the 49. Reeves with pressure. Gets out, throws. Intercepted. Chuck Clanton has the ball at the 30-yard line. Chuck Clanton's 11th interception of the year. He limps off the field.
The pressure on John Reeves is what sets up the interception. Linebacker number 58, Taft Sales, out of the University of Missouri, a rookie, pressures John Reeves. Reeves is off balance when he throws. He tries to get the ball into the secondary, and it's picked off. From Reeves' viewpoint, watch the pressure now. Taft Sales, number 58, the linebacker, forces him forward. He throws off balance. Here's Chuck Clanton, who missed last week with a hand injury, making his appearance and his 11th interception of the year.
So Birmingham, who leads the league in giveaway takeaways at plus 18, gets the first turnover of the game. It's
in New York, and just as Cliff Stout capped a drive for the Stallions on their first possession, Jim Kelly did the same for the Gamblers in the Astrodome, running it in from 14 yards out to give Houston a 7-0 lead over Arizona in the first quarter. And Tim Brandt, I'm sure that you and Lee Groscup are hoping for another 7-quarter epic today.
Jim Lampley, Chuck Clanton was hurt on that interception. It was his 11th of the year, but he has ice pack on his knee. It's been a banged-up secondary all year for the Birmingham Stallions. Chuck Clanton did not play last week because of an injury to his hand.
Nor did Dennis Woodbury. That took 17 interceptions out of their secondary.
A very vociferous crowd at Legion Field. First down, Stallions. From the 30, Stout to throw, rolls right. Has the whole sideline. First down, Stallions. Cliff Stout was one of the leading running backs for the Pittsburgh Steelers last year. Comes into this season, and again, he's got 440 yards with 9 touchdown runs.
That is the man who rewrote the press guide when he was at Youngstown State, surpassing most of the records previously held by Ron Jaworski. And he was equally effective in college, both as a runner and as a passer.
In college, he had 25 touchdowns rushing. Riley Dodge looks on. Cliff Stout now 5 carries, 12 yards. First down from the 43. Perry pulls his way up for a 3-yard gain. The rules of this game are simple. Straight ahead. No fair dodging.
I like that.
117 degrees on the field.
So I came back and helped the foot.
The best conditioned athlete will be tested here this afternoon. They will try to keep fluids in these players, keep that fan running, keep them as cool as possible. They will probably take electrolytes, which is a chemical breakdown, basically the same as sweat, replenish the fluid that you lose. This is Stout on 2nd and 9, going deep. Joey Jones can't hold on. Flag! Interference against Tampa Bay on Joey Jones. The call is on Jeff George, number 33.
Jeff George, the left cornerback, is covering Joey Jones deep. Joey Jones running a deep post pattern as Cliff Stout settles back after play-action pass. Now remember, both have a right to the football. Both of them have a right to the ball.
Pass interference. Number 33 defense. First down.
It's on the defense.
Awfully close, his right hand, George. Now keep in mind, Joey Jones had a big touchdown catch over George to set up a touchdown, rather, in the first game between these two clubs. So Jones may be working on George this afternoon. We'll keep an eye on that matchup. First and 10 from the 42. Jim Smith can toll the wide receivers. And it looks like Flag Day. Flags fly everywhere.
False start. Number 72, offense.
That's Robert Woods, Tim, the left tackle, who settles in right next to Buddy Idlet on the left side.
Robert Woods set out a part of last week's game. He's a big one. 6'5", 258 pounds out of Tennessee. It's the first time in 13 years that he's been on the championship team. So to bring up first and 15, the ball on the 47. Toller in motion. Stout with pressure. Backside. He'll be sacked. James Harrell 50, came through and sacked Cliff Stout. Right now, let's go down to Mike Adamle.
James Harrell, the linebacker, who had 65 solo tackles on the year after joining the team in the 5th week of play, is the man who comes around the blocker and corrals quarterback Cliff Stout.
We'll get down to Michael right after this. Next play. Can't stop the action. This is fast and furious to start this ball game. This time, Joey Jones and Jim Smith. Receivers to the bottom of the screen. This is Cribbs, right side off tackle, and he picks his way up close to the original line of scrimmage. Now let's go down to Mike Adamle. Michael?
Chuck, a little bittersweet injury interception there. What happened on the play?
We were in a cover 3, and I landed on at the wrong angle and just bruised it a little bit.
You all right, though?
I'll be fine.
Okay, you'll be playing again then?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cover 3 to me means zone coverage.
Cover 3, they were playing a lot of zone, and Reeves threw into the zone.
That's what it looked like. That's where he is. He's in the deep zone right there. Makes the interception, but injures his knee in the process.
North A, cover 3 defense. It'll be 3rd and 11 from the 43. Toller in motion. Stout going across the middle. Incomplete. Intended for Hartsfield. Joe Hartsfield out of Jacksonville State. Well, we're just settling into our seats. We've got a 7-0 ball game. 4:46 remaining in the first quarter. We'll see Bob Parsons for the first time this afternoon. He's out of Penn State. One of the bigger punters in the league at 6'5", 224 pounds. You saw his average, nearly 39 yards. Alvin Bailey is the deep man for Tampa Bay. The key for Tampa Bay right now is to maintain the pressure, try to stay in the ball game, and somehow nullify this crowd. This is Bailey at the 10. Maybe to the 14-yard line. So Parson gets off a 34-yard punt. Bailey brings it back 3 yards. They'll set it at the 14-yard line. So that's where Tampa Bay will have the ball at second possession of the day. The first time they turn the ball over. Reeves now gets a second chance. Tampa Bay doesn't have a very good field position to start off following a 34-yard punt. Alvin Bailey was the man who took the ball at the 10 and returned it 4 yards. Bailey has never fair caught the football. Chuck Clanton, the man who made the interception defensively in the last series, is back in the ball game. He left with a little injury, but it was a little nick, and he's back in. This is Boone. Greg Boone, 196-pounder, meets Mike Perko, 230-pounder, and Jackie Klein, 280.
Greg Boone out of Duke, where he played for Steve Spurrier there when Spurrier was the offensive coordinator at Duke. One of the things Steve Spurrier told us last week was that he learned more as the offensive coordinator at Duke than at any time in his coaching career. Got a lot of his present ideas there.
2nd and 9. Boone was also the team's leading receiver last year. Quick slant and pattern. This is Gary Anderson. Anderson will be about a yard shy of a first down for Tampa Bay, but it's still a fine pickup on the quick slant. Chuck Clanton is the man who made the tackle.
Gary Anderson, of course, Tim, is one of the premier all-purpose players in all of professional football, electrifying breakaway capabilities. Frank Royals told me that this man right here, Gary Anderson, and Lance Allworth were the 2 finest athletes to ever play at the University of Arkansas.
Only player in the league to be in the top 10 in both rushing and receiving. Gary Anderson. 3rd and 1. High formation. It is Anderson. He's got the first. And there's a flag. There's a flag and an injury. It looks like it'll be holding against Tampa Bay.
Steve Spurrier looking perplexed right there. He has a reputation of being kind of laid back, but I think that's inaccurate. He's one of the most intense competitors I've ever known. They say he wants to win at everything.
Number 64, offense, still 3rd down.
It was Chuck Pitcock who was called for holding. Dave Piles, the tight end, number 86, left the field limping.
So third down, obvious pass situation. Reeves off to a slow start. 1 of 4 in the passing department for 7 yards.
Boy, you're right about Steve Spurrier. He has a little fire burning inside of him. Tremendous competitor, always has been. Doesn't like to lose at anything, whether it's an exhibition game or a playoff game. Right now, he trails by a touchdown. 2 minutes, 58 seconds remaining in the first quarter from Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Tim Brantley, Gross Cup. The holding call against Chuck Pitcock has moved the ball back, and Tampa Bay now has a 3rd and 10 situation from the 14. Exactly where this drive started. Boone and Anderson are the setbacks. Pressure on Reeves. Reeves going for Morgan. First down. Wilfred Morgan out of Bethune-Cookman made the catch. Dennis Woodbury was the defender. Outstanding play by Reeves.
Pressure on John Reeves once again, but he stays in the pocket this time, faces up to the blitz. Look at the outside linebackers coming. He moves forward in his pocket, throws the ball under a lot of pressure, but concentrates very well. The catch by Wilfred Morgan, an acrobatic receiver. And when I say acrobatic, I mean that literally. When he scores a touchdown, he pulls flips. He turns flips. 11 catches on the year, 131 yards.
When Eric Trevelyan and Brodsky were injured, Wilfred Morgan came in. He's been very talented ever since. This is the Marvin Harvey. And Harvey makes the catch, and it's another Tampa Bay first down in Birmingham territory.
We keep talking about this man, and he keeps getting better and better. Almost certain to be an all-leaguer, Marvin Harvey, who has the best tight end numbers of any receiver in the league, runs a deep middle route right there, reaches up, sure-handed. Marvin Harvey isolated here, takes an inside release, down, makes his cut to the inside. Watch the hand-eye coordination right there as he reaches up and gets in behind and in between David Evans, number 26, and Chuck Clanton, number 24.
First down at the 38. Gillespie goes in motion, now stops to the backside. It's Boone, and Boone bangs his way up to the 32-yard line. There are flags there. You know, so many people talk about Gary Anderson and forget about Greg Boone, but he is the league's 6th leading receiver, or rusher rather, and he was the team's leader last year.
Going to get a face mask call, Tim.
Here's the call.
Grabbing the face mask. Number 55, defense. First down.
It's called on Herbie Spencer, 55.
Herbie Spencer, who has been the leading tackler on the team and has the best all-purpose defensive numbers over the last 2 years for the Stallions, was cited for that infraction that time, but he's a player. We've liked him consistently in the times that we've covered at Birmingham this year.
Best penetration by Tampa Bay today. Down inside the 30-yard line. It is now marked at the 27. Houston Gamblers leading Arizona 7-0. That game in the first quarter. Quite a shootout there. George Allen's Arizona Wranglers. Number 1 defense going against the number 1 offense.
Tim, in the 2-year history of this league, this has turned into one of the best rivalries.
Coming up tomorrow night, ABC's Monday Night Baseball continues live, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. A couple of good ball games for you. The Chicago Cubs, what a surprise they are, playing very, very well. They are challenging for the National League East League. They travel to San Diego, holders of first place in the National League West. And in the American League, the Detroit Tigers and the Chicago White Sox go at it at Comiskey Park out in Chicago. That's all tomorrow night. Monday Night Baseball right here on ABC. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, big win by Los Angeles over Michigan at the LA Coliseum yesterday. Lee Gross Cup and I were there, part of history, the longest football game in the history of pro football. 27-21, LA, and we'll have highlights of that when Jim Lampley talks to you at halftime.
21-21 in regulation. The final was 27-21.
In the third overtime period. Wilfred Morgan, the bottom of the screen. The top of the screen, Willie Gillespie. The tight end, Marvin Harvey. Anderson doesn't have much there, runs right into Bill Rowe. Good penetration by Joe Guglieri and Bill Rowe and a host of other Birmingham tacklers.
Bill Rowe is one of several active linebackers the Stallions have. They have played a 4-2 nickel look most of the season, but most recently they have gone back to the 4-3 because of injuries.
Bill Rowe came to this team from Memphis at midseason through a trade. Second and 11 from the 28. Marvin Harvey closes the gap at tight end. Reeves. Incomplete, intended for Wilfred Morgan. Morgan was open. He stumbled, and the pass was behind him.
Good pressure applied that time by linebacker 55, Herbie Spencer, coming on a blitz. Lots of blitzes today from the Birmingham defense. Here comes Herbie. In your face, John.
I believe it was a broken pattern. Wilfred Morgan was supposed to go inside. Instead, he cut outside. And now Reeves is 3 for 7, 54 yards. Third and 11 from the 28. They are within range of Zenon Androsian. Somebody jumped too quickly.
False start. Number 61, offense.
Nat Newton is the guilty party.
Number 61 right guard Nat Newton, the biggest and strongest man along the front wall for Tampa Bay. Encroachment right there. Earlier, Chuck Pitcock was called for a similar infraction. Raleigh Dodge Timmy is a true fundamentalist. More to come on that.
So with 28 seconds remaining in the first quarter, it's now 3rd and 16 from the 33 for John Reeves. Harvey in motion. Zone defense by Birmingham. They dropped the ball over the middle, intended for Boone, incomplete. Jackie Klein got a big bear paw on it. Jackie Klein, 6'5", 278-pounder, reached that big arm up and knocked it down.
A good one out of Alabama. He comes back off the injured list. And he should give that defensive front wall a real shot in the arm. The Z-Man out of UCLA, one of 3 good UCLA kickers in the league.
Zenon Androsian from 50 yards. His longest is 49. This one, it's long enough, and it's good. Zenon Androsian out of UCLA. In Canada, he was a soccer player, also threw the javelin. You know, he told me his dream was to participate in the Olympic Games. And he was the #1 Canadian javelin thrower in 1968 on his way to Mexico. Now he's a fine kicker.
He's got to be a candidate for Special Teams Player of the Year, both for his place kicking and his punting. He keeps the head down first, looks up after he finishes. He knows he has it. Look at his reaction. Jubilation by that man, Zenon Androsian.
Last week, Zenon Androsian in this very stadium against this same team. Attempted a 50-yarder, had the distance, but it hit the crossbar.
From his viewpoint, look, early on it looks like he may have hooked it, then it shows it's perfect. It may be short, but it hits the crossbar, reefs in, it's good.
So last week from the same distance he hit the bar, it was no good. Today, the same distance, it's good.
Do you believe in justice?
What a difference a week makes. A hot, hazy day in Birmingham, Alabama. Zenon Androsian to kick off. This will be Lonnie Johnson, number 33, who takes it at the 2. And he's nailed at the 22-yard line. Keith Clark came up and said, "How do you do?"
Are you sure that's what he said?
He punished him.
He put the hat on him.
Keith Clark's a linebacker. When you find a linebacker with good speed and you put him on special teams, you know you'll get some hits out of him. And that should just about do it for the first quarter. So last week, it was 1 point that separated these two teams. Tampa Bay won that one 17-16. These two clubs have played 4 times the last 2 years. 1 point separates. After the first quarter of the playoff game, the Stallions lead it.
As being synonymous with possession football, nobody does it better than Birmingham. Look at the bottom line. They kept the ball 8 minutes, 15 seconds. However, in total yards, Tampa Bay leads. That's a little misleading. The pass interference call is what set up the touchdown for Birmingham.
Just underway, second quarter. Birmingham worked out behind closed doors all week. Joe Cribbs, right side, picks up 5.
Conversely, Tampa Bay did what they did all season. They had open practices. They were very open with the media. Didn't hide a thing.
That's the personality of Steve Spurrier that lends itself to that type of week. Here in Birmingham, it was a very intensified week. Worked out in pads 3 days. We stayed at a hotel last night. 2nd and 3 from the 30. Stout audibilizes. Long count. Backside pressure. Throws deep to Smith. Out of bounds. Incomplete. That time, Tampa Bay seemed to mix up its coverage, disguised it quite well. Looked like a combination defense. Stout had trouble reading it, then audibilized.
Pressure applied to Cliff Stout by Johnson and Carter, 75 and 58. Straight drop back read here. Goes, settles in at 8 yards, retreats to 10 yards. They didn't get all the way, but they got to hurry. Sometimes a hurry is just as good as a sack.
When I say combination defense, I simply mean that some players are playing man-for-man defense, some are playing zone. 3rd and 3 from the 30. Right side, close to a first down, goes Leon Perry. I don't think he got it.
Big Leon Perry, who came of age in the second game of the season against the Los Angeles Express, a game that we covered, is one of the hardest and strongest runners in the league. He once had a weight problem. He was up to about 260 pounds. It's trimmed down now to about 247, 248. Punishing runner, but he came up short that time.
Bob Parsons comes on to punt. Alvin Bailey, number 25, the deep man for Tampa Bay. And keep in mind, Alvin Bailey hasn't made a fair catch this year. This punt drives him all the way back to the 16-yard line. Waits for a blocker. Football! Birmingham!
Buddy Idlett, number 78, has the football for Birmingham. Lonnie Johnson was the man who got the hit.
There is a flag. But it's Birmingham's football.
On the return, an illegal block in the back. Number 31 of the return team. Penalty declined. First down.
You heard the declaration by Burl Sordren. You can see the reaction of the crowd. Take another look how it happened.
Alvin Bailey, number 25, has the football. Watch the hit that's going to come up here by Lonnie Johnson, number 33. Right there, he crosses it and strips the ball away at the same time. Buddy Idlett, number 78, covers the ball for Birmingham.
First down at the 20. Cribbs, hole, into the secondary.
Long trap on the right side. Sandon and Phoenix lead it. Buddy Idlett pulls from the left side, number 78, and leads Joe Cribbs. That has been his most successful running play throughout the season. It started with a big run against the Los Angeles Express in Game 2. He's repeated often throughout the season.
Joe Cribbs rushed for more than 1,000 yards 3 seasons with the Buffalo Bills, another 663 yards in the strike-shortened season. This is Cribbs. First down, Stallions. He is the USFL's leading rusher coming into this ball game, 1,467 yards.
He was a great one at Auburn, played in the same backfield. with a couple of great ones. Andrews and Brooks.
That game now in the second quarter. Gamblers still lead George Allen's Arizona Wranglers by a touchdown. This is 1st and 8. First and goal from the 8. Perry breaks a tackle. Left side to the 3. Leon Perry. He's a 230-pounder. A tough, hard-nosed blocker who thrives on bone-crushing blocks for Joe Cribbs. He's also an outstanding running back.
Interesting article earlier in the year in the National Magazine. Matt Millen was quoted as saying that Leon Perry was one of the hardest runners he had ever tackled.
You think about him for his size, but he also was an outstanding track athlete. In the 100 and the 220. The fake to Cribbs. Stout has a man. Out of the back line. Jay Repko made the catch, but he was past the back line of the end zone.
Let's go D. They're saying, let's go D. Let's go defense.
It'll be 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line for Birmingham. Joe Cribbs comes out. The setbacks now, Leon Perry and Earl Gant. Play action. Stout has the side. Touchdown, Stallions. Cliff Stout's second touchdown of the day, and listen to the crowd.
11th rushing touchdown of the year for quarterback Cliff Stout.
Danny Miller comes on to attempt the extra point. Danny Miller's out of Miami. Had a try with the Washington Redskins. Matter of fact, he almost made that club. The Redskins were ready to trade Mark Mosley.
Played for Jacksonville earlier this season.
The kick is good. The score is 14-3. So the Birmingham Stallions, with 10 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the half, have taken the lead 14-3.
Cliff Stout, play action fake here. Fakes into the line first. Good block here. Springs into the outside. Idlet gets the block. A juke step and a cut up here. And Cliff Stout takes it in. There's the fake right there to number 33. And Idlet gets the block on the outside. Stout now has a decision to make. He cuts up and goes into the end zone, beating Alonzo Johnson.
Tampa Bay was in man coverage. They had a stunt coming on the backside. Containment broke down, and Cliff Stout read that and took it in for the touchdown. We've got a 14-3 ball game. Crowd at Legion Field. Hot, but excited. 117 degrees on the field, and things have heated up here on the field as well with the players. Cliff Stout, 2 touchdowns, both by the run. Danny Miller to kick off. Alvin Bailey, Ricky Williams are the deep men for Tampa Bay. The ball falls off the tee for Danny Miller.
The fans here have had a chant. No way, Tampa Bay.
I think it's ironic that as conservative as everybody says Raleigh Dodge is, he went on his television show this week and said, "We will beat Tampa Bay." It's taken by Alvin Bailey, 5 yards deep, and he will down it there for a touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20.
Sounds like Raleigh is pulling a George Allen. Remember what George did at the top of the season?
Yeah, there's a difference, though. Raleigh waited to the playoffs.
George came out at the top of the show and said, "We won't lose, I won't allow it."
Well, I think that was taken out of context along the way. John Reeves is the quarterback that we'll be seeing. John Reeves was injured last last year after the 7th game. He sat out with a broken wrist. First down from the 20. Reeves with time. Throws, and it's complete to Gary Anderson. It's a gain of 6. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
That's a play they used effectively in the ball game last week, a little slide out pattern where Anderson just makes a move upfield and then slides to the outside. Puts him in a one-on-one situation with a linebacker, and he should be able to beat the linebacker to the sideline.
Houston has gotten a field goal. They now lead Arizona 10-0 in the second quarter. Tony Fritsch, the USFL's leading scorer. 2nd and 4 from the 26-yard line. The give inside the Boone. Not much. Mike Perko, good play. Perko read the play, stayed low, and made the tackle.
Perko is one of those physical, consistent players as we look at Steve Spurrier giving signals here along the sideline. He flashes the plays in. That's Jimmy Jordan next to him.
Jimmy Jordan with the headset played most of the game here last week for Tampa Bay when John Reeves took a rest. Anderson now goes to the wide receiver spot. Boone is the lone setback. It is 3rd and 3 from the 27. Marvin Harvey now flexes at his tight end spot, 3 yards off. The pass, almost intercepted, pass interference. David Evans hit Willie Gillespie too soon, and they'll call pass interference. One thing we should mention that we didn't mention earlier on the pass interference call earlier was that in this league, they don't put the ball at the mark of the infraction. Instead, they mark it off from the line of scrimmage.
Based on either incidental or flagrant contact.
That's correct. It's a 5 or 15.
Pass interference. Number 26 defense. First down.
David Evans, the X-back, number 26, is covering Willie Gillespie. Gillespie running a sideline cut. And there is the contact. Good call.
They mark it off 15 yards. It'll be first down from the 42. 9 minutes, 52 seconds remaining in the first half. Reeves with time, has Gillespie in the Birmingham territory. Another first down for the Bandits. Ricky Ray was the defender that Gillespie worked on that time.
So they come back with Gillespie to the left side after running him first to the right side. This time Ricky Ray had the coverage. 2 interceptions on the year for him.
Larry Brodsky comes into the ball game. First time he's been in a little while. He sat out with an injury. Separated his shoulder against Memphis. Willie Gillespie goes out. It is 1st and 10. Reeves, sprint action to the right side. The pass is complete. It's Wilfred Morgan. Cuts against the grain. 30, 25, 20 to the 15-yard line. And he goes out of bounds. On the 13, there's a late hit and a flag. David Evans and Chuck Clanton were the defensive backs who ran him out. And the flag followed him out of bounds. Late hit will go down even closer to the goal. A 29-yard pickup.
Wilfred Morgan, who has come on strong here in the last half of the season, running an out cut here, takes the pass from John Reeves. Now watch what he does in the open field here. Traverses the field, gets away from Herbie Spencer, who is blocked there. Traverses some more, picks up Marvin Harvey, number 87.
Grabbing the face mask.
Now watch along the sidelines here, and we're going to see a face mask infraction. Evans and Clanton in pursuit. There's the face mask right there by number 24, Chuck Clanton, who grabs with his right hand.
First and goal from the 7, Tampa. Gillespie in motion. Play action. Gillespie's the receiver. Touchdown, Bandits! That silences the crowd here at Legion Field.
How quickly a game can turn when you have big play capabilities. When you play bandit ball, you can move it in a hurry. Sprint out action here. Fake to Anderson, the tailback. Reeves continues to move to the corner, pressures the corner. Gillespie runs a sideline cut and gets into the open area of the defense in front of Dennis Woodbury, number 21. So after a slow start, John Reeves now 7 of 12 in the passing department for 113 yards and 1 touchdown.
Willie Gillespie caught a 6-yard touchdown pass in this stadium last week against the Stallions. He comes back and does it again, and Birmingham will have to line up now because Tampa Bay's going for the 2. It was a 2-point conversion yesterday by Steve Young that sent that game into overtime at the Coliseum. This is Reeves. Reeves throws. It's good. Again, it's Willie Gillespie.
And he improvised that time, Tim. Did you see it? He was running a sideline.
But there's a flag and a scuffle. Steve Spurrier's beside himself. But now he gets the call that he likes. Here's our referee, Burl Sordren, with a declaration.
Count the 2 points. Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Number 55, defense. Penalty assessed on the kickoff.
The penalty is on Herb Spencer. We've got ourselves a good old-fashioned Donnybrook here at Legion Field in Birmingham, Alabama. Looking at all the principals, Herb Spencer, John Reeves, Raleigh Dodge. Take another look at this play.
Watch the improvision. The improvision here by the wide receiver, Willie Gillespie, as John Reeves sprints to his right. He started to his outside. Reeves waved at him once. He pumped the ball, and then he cut back to the inside, and Reeves hit him with a bullet.
So we've got a 14-11 ball game with 8 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the half. Birmingham has scored 539 points this year, which is second only to Houston. And right now, Houston leads Arizona 10-0. That game in the second quarter as well. The drive, 5 plays, 80 yards. It only took 2 minutes. And Willie Gillespie was the man not only that made the touchdown catch, but he also made the 2-point conversion.
Remember, bandit ball is synonymous with unpredictability. An onside kick is not out of the realm of possibility here. They will do anything at any time.
8 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Leaning in position to kick off. He kicks it away and knocks it out of the end zone. So it'll be a touchback, and they'll bring the ball out to the 20-yard line. That's where Cliff Stout and the Birmingham Stallions will have the football to start this series. They have the lead, 14-11.
Birmingham, of course, is a team known for its possession football. Field position certainly has got to be an important part of that. You see that when they started at the 36, they moved for a touchdown. Then they took 1 drive from their 20.
Birmingham averages more than 32 minutes per game. Time of possession, the best in the league. First down from the 20. Joey Jones, Jim Smith, the wideouts. Cribbs and Perry, the setbacks. Here comes the stunt. Joey Jones, first down. So Cliff Stout read the stunt and threw the quick look in. Right now, Willie Gillespie is with Mike Adamle.
Okay, Tim. Willie, a couple of series, you had little problems there picking up the blitz, and then the third series touchdown.
Yeah, well, they were doing a lot of things that we were expecting them to do, but our offensive line more or less have to play and to get, adjusted to what they were doing. And now I think the offensive line is ready. They're picking them up pretty good, and we pretty much getting one-on-one coverage, and they're holding them out. It's just a matter of throwing and catching now.
Tim? Leon Perry on the screen. Another first down for the Stallions. Willie Gillespie is an integral part of this ball club. We've already seen that today, but he just came back last week from an ankle injury. He had been out quite a while.
Still playing with pain. On the slow developing screen, such as you just saw, it's important for both the quarterback and linemen to be actors. They have to make it look like they're going to put the ball upfield.
I may have been premature. I gave the Stallions a first down. They bring on the chains.
Well, you've still got the bionic eye as far as I'm concerned.
First down, Birmingham. Last week when these two clubs played here. The fans came out as well, but they had 11 people overtaken by the heat last week. Try to keep an eye on that for you because it does get awfully hot at Legion Field.
8th first down for Birmingham. They're doing what they like to do.
From the 43-yard line. The give is to Cribbs. Into the secondary. Another first down. And into Tampa territory.
And again, a big block by number 78, Buddy Idolette, who recovered a fumble earlier, made a key block on Cliff Stout's touchdown. He's number 78 on the left side. Gets the block there. Cribbs makes a little move to the outside. He's got the wiggle. He's got the juke step. He's got the moves. That's why he's one of the most electrifying all-purpose players in all of professional football.
He can turn a 2 or 3 yard gain into a 30 or 40 yard pickup. First down from the 44-yard line. This is Jim Smith. A gain of 5. It'll be 2nd and 5. He's ridden out of bounds by Bruce Vaughn. And the crowd wants a roughing penalty on Vaughn.
Jim Smith out of Michigan by way of the Pittsburgh Steelers had the reputation of being one of the finest possession receivers in all of professional football. This year he has also given them the deep threat pretty consistently.
With a game of this magnitude and the emotion as high as it is and the intensity, the key is maintaining composure. Jim Smith led the league in receiving yards and was 4th in catches behind Richard Johnson, Ricky Sanders, and Danny Walters. Smith to the top of the screen, moves up a little bit more now. Joey Jones is the receiver at the bottom. Robin Earl's the tight end. This goes to Joey Jones, incomplete. Warren Hanna, number 20, was the man defending Jones. The ball was overthrown.
Robin Earl is playing the tight end position today because Daryl Mason, number 81, normally the starter, is out with a rib injury.
Cliff Stout now 6 for 11, 73 yards. Birmingham brings out number 89, Robin Earl, its tight end. They also take out Jay Repko. Ken Talton comes into the ballgame. Ken Toller, rather. Jim Smith, Joe Hartsfield, and Joey Jones. 4 wide receivers. It's 3rd and 6 at the 40. Incomplete, intended for Joe Hartsfield. Joe Hartsfield has absolutely no catches this year.
They're using the 4 wide receiver offense at times today, Tim, because of the injury to Mason, who Raleigh Dodge has called the most underrated tight end in the league.
So the Tampa Bay defense rises to the occasion, stops Birmingham in its own territory, and Parsons now will have to punt it away. Bailey fakes the fair catch, lets it hit inside the 10, and it is down to the 7. Earl Gant was there to down the football. So the Cardinal rule, never fair catch the ball inside the 10. Bailey obeyed the rule. The Tampa Bay Bandits have silenced the crowd just a bit by stopping the Birmingham Stallions in their own territory. But now John Reeves and his Bandits are backed up inside the 10-yard line. It's first down at the 9. Reeves with pressure, throws into coverage, and it's almost intercepted. Birmingham rolled back in his zone. It was intended for Wilford Morgan. Reeves tried to throw it into coverage, and it was almost intercepted.
The key to any pass defense is first to pressure the quarterback. Birmingham has been doing that with pretty good consistency. Number 75, Dave Purifoy, first gets the pressure on Reeves, forces him to slide forward. The ball is tipped right there. First by number 55, Herbie Spencer. Then again by Spencer. Ricky Ray also in on the action there. And the ball was tended for Wilford Morgan, number 80.
It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 9. We've got 5:19 remaining in the half. Anderson out to the 15-yard line. Good block by Greg Boone that time. Greg Boone, complements his running skills with fine blocking ability. He threw the key block that time to Spring Anderson for the yardage he got. It'll bring up 3rd and 4.
Gary Anderson, of course, is a slashing runner out of the University of Arkansas. He put a lot of records in the book when he was there.
Willie Gillespie and Marvin Harden, number 87. The bottom of the screen, at the top of the screen, Wilfred Morgan. Everybody in tight. Boone stays in the block. The pass is bounced to Gillespie. Incomplete. Rosina and Androsian will have to come in and punt the ball back to Birmingham with 4:28 in the half. Androsian has had a 66-yarder. His average just over 41 yards. This one a high spiraling punt. Ron Frederick takes it at the 45-yard line. And the fair catch there will give Birmingham good field position. So Zenon Androsian gets a 39-yard punt, and that's where Cliff Stout will take over. Coming up later tonight, the Olympic trials coverage continues at ABC. Friday, rather, next Friday. From Las Vegas, Nevada, the amateur boxing's best go for it all as they fight it out for a spot on the United States Olympic team. That's coming up next Friday. The Olympic trials continue. Joe Cribbs into Tampa Bay territory.
From this viewpoint, you can get a sense of what I've talked about earlier. Joe Cribbs really has the wiggle. Look how loose he is through the hips. Inside, outside, inside again.
Robert Woods leaves the ball game. He's got an injury. Looks like he's overtaken by heat. Phil Boren comes in and replaces him. As you look at the bench of the Stallions, this is 2nd and 1. First down, Leon Perry. And the big guy rambles down to the 31-yard line.
5'11", 248 pounds out of Mississippi. He's running behind a strong, well-disciplined offensive line. Slant play off the left side. Banks, Sandin, Phoenix. But it's mostly the leg drive. Look at those knees like pistons.
I think we should also mention that Raleigh Dotch is not only the head coach, but he's the offensive line coach here in Birmingham. This is Cribbs on the right side. Kelly Kirchbaum makes the tackle. He follows Phoenix and Sandin, though, and picks up pretty good yardage on first down.
This drive is vintage Birmingham. This is what they do best. You know, at the height of their possession efficiency, they kept the ball 43 minutes, 17 seconds in a ball game in 1983 against New Jersey. Limited Herschel Walker to 27 yards. It was known as the Birmingham plan.
Ken Toller, Jim Smith, the wide receivers. Leon Perry, the ball carrier. And he meets resistance by Kelly Kirchbaum, the linebacker, there at a standoff, and now tempers Flair. Number 78 is Big Buddy Idolette.
No love lost between these two teams in the short history of the league. This has become one of the most intense rivalries.
Oh, they don't like each other, that's for sure. Steve Spurrier working the bench. Not only trying to coach and teach as the game goes on, but trying to motivate. Houston leads Arizona 10-3. That ball game still in the second quarter. Corral is at a 32-yarder. So we've got the 2-minute warning here at Legion Field in Birmingham. With our score, the Birmingham Stallions 14. The Tampa Bay. Don't forget, coming up at halftime, we'll have highlights and interviews of that Los Angeles win over Michigan yesterday at the LA Coliseum. 27-21, the Express now advance. We'll play the winner of today's Arizona-Houston game. It was the longest game in football history. 4 hours, 3 minutes, 3 overtimes. Jim Lampley will have those highlights for you coming up at halftime. Here at Legion Field, the numbers on Cliff Stout. Right now he is faced with a 3rd and 3 situation. The ball at the Tampa Bay 24. Joe Cribbs to the 12. First down. touchdown, Stallions.
Saindon and Phoenix, the right side of that strong offensive line. From a low angle, you can get a better look at the athletic ability of Joe Cribbs. He hesitates long enough to let his blocking form. Hurdles right there. Makes the cut and is brought down by Mike Butler, number 77, and Jeff George, number 33.
Joe Cribbs sat out the exhibition season in the court battle trying to play in this league. He missed 2 games during the season for a contract dispute. He seems to be healthy and wealthy now of mind. His legs are free. Freedom for the Stallions. There's a flag. Leon Perry carries on the left side. And it's going to be holding against the Stallions. It's a 14-11 ball game. It could be more than that. Birmingham has had opportunities but hurt themselves with penalties this afternoon.
Holding. Number 78, offense. Still first down.
That is the 6th penalty for 55 yards for Birmingham. Leon Perry comes out of the ball game. Joe Cribbs will be the lone setback. Ken Toller, Joey Jones, Jim Smith are the wideouts. Their tight end is Robin Earl. This is Cribbs. And Kelly Kirschbaum did an outstanding job. He got rid of the blockers, got out of the way of the blockers, and made the tackle on Cribbs.
Variation of the old Statue of Liberty play. Kelly Kirschbaum playing with pain today. Didn't know if he would play. He says, I've got the tuxedo and the corsage. I'm going to the prom.
Joe Cribbs, the All-American at Auburn, where he rushed for 100 yards 11 times for the Tigers. Twice he ran for 200-plus yards. Never been on a championship team. Don't forget, coming up tomorrow night on ABC, we've got Monday Night Baseball. 2 pretty good matchups for you. The Chicago Cubs, surprising everybody and challenging for that National League East lead. Travel to San Diego. Holders of first place in the National League West. And over in the American League, the Detroit Tigers, who are red hot in the East, trying to lengthen that lead. On Toronto and Baltimore play the Chicago White Sox. That's coming up tomorrow. ABC's Monday Night Baseball. You know, Joe Cribbs used to hitchhike down Route 78 here in Alabama to be in the crowd at Legion Field to watch college football on Saturdays. After watching so many Alabama-Auburn games, he decided to become a Tiger. Go to Auburn.
I love that story. This is a great football stadium. Call this Birmingham the football capital of the South.
Well, I think the fans in Tampa Bay would dispute that. Tampa Bay, of course, the site of the USFL championship game this year. That'll be held July 15th, just 2 weeks hence.
Those ladies known as the Phillies.
Second down, 18. The ball on the 20. Tampa Bay shows blitz, now drops off. Zone defense. Stout has an opening and can't get out of it. Fred Norgren, big number 68, made the saving tackle on Cliff Stout because he had a whole lot of field open to him.
Fred Norgren, who was playing the nose guard position before they went to the 4-man look, he's number 68. He's the man who will be applying the pressure to Cliff Stout as he tries to move forward in the pocket and nail Stout right there. He's out of Portland State, where he played his collegiate football for Mouse Davis on that same team with Neil Lomax. Of course, Mouse now the offensive coordinator for Houston and the architect of the run-and-shoot offense.
Fred Norgren, all first-team USFL, going against Tom Banks, the longtime veteran. This is 3rd and 22, and it's overthrown, intended for Joe Hartsfield. So Joe Hartsfield still has not made a catch this year.
Bring on Danny Miller. Raleigh Dodge upset because he had a good drive going. We talked about how he's a fundamentalist. Defense, running, kicking, and the passing game in that order are his priorities.
A 42-yard attempt by Danny Miller, so he comes on. His leg obviously strong enough, but he's only 2 of 5 this year between the 40 and the 49-yard line. He hit a 58-yarder for Baltimore in 1982. This 42-yarder has the distance, and it's good. That kick could have been good from 52 yards. And with 32 seconds left in the half, Birmingham now takes a 17-11 lead. You know the fire's burning inside that man, Steve Spurrier.
This is a classic confrontation, Tim. We really didn't have a chance to talk about it too much at the beginning of the game, but in the short history of this league, this has really developed into one of the finest rivalries.
Coming up later on ABC World News tonight, Sunday, with Sam Donaldson, the Soviets say no to the American proposal on weapons talks, and Dick Schaap reports on a man who has played both in the World Series and at Wimbledon. That's coming up on World News tonight, Sunday, with Sam Donaldson and Dick Schaap. You don't think that's a war down there? Look at his forehead.
Well, you were a linebacker and rover back play at your college days at the University of Maryland. What was it like on days like this in the trenches?
You love it. You get the feel of the sweat, the blood, the grit, and the grime of the AstroTurf. 1st and 10, here we go. The kickoff is returned back to the 17-yard line by Alvin Bailey, and that's where they'll have the first down.
He returns 15 yards. Lonnie Johnson made the tackle.
Well, what do you do now?
Decision time. Either you go for it all, or you decide to just run out the clock. No in between here.
Well, that's obvious. Which way do you go, though, Coach?
I always would go for it. Always.
Yeah. 28 seconds remaining in the half. The Stallions with a 6-point lead. Give inside to Gary Anderson. Let's go downstairs now to Mike Adamley. Michael?
Everybody talks about this Tampa Bay offense and Tampa Bay defense today. Freddie's playing very well considering the circumstances. You were on the field for most of the second quarter.
Well, I think we've been playing pretty well. We've let a little big play get through every once in a while, but we just got to toughen it up, tighten it up, not let them have the big play, and we should be okay.
Okay, hang in there, Fred.
Thank you very much.
All right, Mike, that's the end of the first half. Both teams now will go in, take a break, try to get something to drink, just sit back and relax and start thinking about what they did right, what they did wrong, and what they have to do to win this game. We'll be back after this commercial. And what they have to do to win this game. We'll be back after this commercial and a word.
ABC Sports Control in New York will be continuing with USFL halftime activities in a moment, but first, a look back at the longest game. It was played yesterday afternoon before only 7,964 fans in the Los Angeles Coliseum. That doesn't seem so important now. What is important is that the United States Football League now has something to hang its hat on, a piece of lore, a piece of history. Coincidentally, in 1962, the American Football League got its with the game between the Dallas Texans and the Houston Oilers, which was at the time the longest game ever played. Now there is this one, and when the Los Angeles Express had finally won it yesterday afternoon over Michigan, the talk in their quarters was not so much of victory as of physical and emotional exhaustion.
I've been overtime a couple times, but nothing like this. Nothing at all.
What did it do to you?
I feel kind of tired. I need to go find my bed right about now. Lay down.
Have you ever been in a game like this?
No, I haven't. And I tell you, I never want to play that long again as long as I live, personally. It was, it was fun, but then it got to be too long. You know what I'm saying? And it was just a matter of who was going to break first.
We came back, too, and they had the game won, and we came back in the last couple of seconds and won it. I mean, to tie it up and then win it. But we've come a long way. We're doing all right, and we just got to get ready for next week and hopefully get healed up. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll just have to get healed up and get ready to play.
Steve Young, this gutty run on third down in the closing moments set up the short touchdown plunge by Kevin Nelson, which gave Los Angeles a chance to tie the game in regulation with less than a minute to play. Young didn't get in on that one, but he handed off to Nelson on the next play. Nelson went in from 1 yard out, and it was 21-19. The pattern had persisted throughout the game. Young wasn't throwing well enough to win it, but his running was keeping LA in it. And here on the two-point conversion run, he came through once again. Now it was tied at 21. In the first overtime period, Michigan had a chance to win. A 37-yard field goal attempt by Nova Bojovic, who has won a lot of games for the Panthers in their first 2 years of existence, normally has come through in the clutch, but he hooked this kick. It went wide to the left. And the game was still going. Later, Bojovic would complain that the wind in the Los Angeles Coliseum had played tricks on him with that kick. There was no such excuse available after the second try. This one late in the second overtime from 36 yards out, and that one was a bad miss. So as a result of that second Bojovic miss, the game became the first professional football game ever to go into a third overtime period, an elapsed time of more than 4 hours, the longest game in professional football history. On their first possession in the third overtime period, Los Angeles finally scored. Mel Gray outrunning a by now exhausted Michigan defense to go in with the touchdown that gave Los Angeles a 27-21 victory. And afterward, Ted Dawson asked LA coach John Hadel how he felt about the win.
Ever seen an effort like this from a team before?
Never in my life. I've never been associated with anything like this. Never. I mean, all year long. You know, we were 3-6 at one time, I believe. 3-6.
You got a bunch of winners here.
Yeah, we really do have, and they're really great kids, and you know, we'll go down to wherever it's at and see what happens next time.
Next time, Mel Gray will not be available. The final poignant irony, he broke his arm on the winning touchdown run, and though carrying for 124 yards yesterday, he won't be able to play in next week's playoff game. Steve Young has bruised ribs, a bad back, and
better than any team in the United States Football League. They hold it almost 33 minutes per game. They have the advantage right now at halftime, Lee Grosscup.
19 minutes, 26 seconds to 10:34 for Tampa Bay. They really turned it around in the second quarter. They begin to play their kind of game. Raleigh ball means possession football. Bandit ball means gadgetry or unpredictability. So it's a classic confrontation, the kind of game that we like to cover. And in this, I think it's really one of the better rivalries that's developed over the period. We look at some of the other numbers right there.
I think it's ironic that Tampa Bay has the lead in the passing category and that Birmingham has the rushing statistics.
Comparative numbers on the two quarterbacks. John Reeves has the better yardage numbers right there. Cliff Stout, he's 6 of 13 for 73 yards on the day. However, Cliff Stout has been more effective as a runner. He has scored 2 touchdowns himself. He's an all-around athlete out of Youngstown State. Mentioned earlier that he passed up Ron Jaworski. These teams, of course, are playing for the right to meet Philadelphia next week for the Eastern Conference Championship.
That'll be at Franklin Field against the Philadelphia Stars. Raleigh Dodge is the head coach. He is, in my opinion, one of the game's greatest teachers. Strong fundamentalist, strong on techniques. Also as a player's coach. These guys love him.
And if this offense often resembles the Pittsburgh Steelers, you know why. He's best known as the offensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Playoff experience 4 times while he was there. He has 2 Super Bowl rings.
2 diamond-studded championship rings. Are symbolic of Pittsburgh's back-to-back Super Bowl titles in 1978 and 79. The southern congeniality of Birmingham.
Did you have your grits this morning?
No, sir.
I had mine.
I'm now a member of Weight Watchers.
That's right. Congratulations. WW.
When the season began, I said I'd lose 30 pounds. At the Winter Olympics, I weighed 230. Right now, I'm at 208.
And a way to go, Tim.
17-11 is our score at halftime, and we're just about ready to begin the second half. It's been a good old-fashioned street brawl.
I started to amplify a little bit on the rivalry. I think in the 2-year history of the United States Football League, this has developed into one of the best rivalries. It's 2-2 now over the last 2 years, and in total points, only 1 point separates the two teams over those 4 games. Birmingham has scored 89 points, a total that is. Tampa Bay has scored a total of 88. Raleigh Dodge, we've talked about him as being a true fundamentalist. Not surprising. Two men who influenced his life, Biggie Munn and Duffy Doherty, who he played for when he was at Michigan State. He was on a national championship team in 1952 when he played for the Spartans there. Some of his other contemporaries were Frank Cush, also at Michigan State during the 4 years that he was there.
Played both ways back there for Duffy. 51 years old, a student of the game.
He told us a great story. He said back in those days that they took all of the fullbacks and the slowest ones became guards.
The two deep men for Tampa Bay. 25 is Alvin Bailey out of Alcorn State. Ricky Williams is number 44 from Florida State. Another outstanding coach on the right is Steve Spurrier. One of the most competitive, youngest, innovative, most imaginative coaches in this league. Danny Miller to kick off. It is a high kick, drifts over near the sidelines. It'll go out of bounds. The referee will throw a penalty flag. We'll move it back and kick it again. Earl Sorgren is your referee. The umpire is Ed Manning. Head linesman, Robert Walker. David Hedema is the back judge. Chet DeStefano, John Everett, and Wesley Ward are the other officials working this game today. And they are earning their money. It is awfully hot.
117 degrees on the field. Look what Tampa Bay has done to their opponents in the third quarter during the regular season. Outscored them 126-58. And as we've talked about, they have big play capabilities. They're an explosive team. They play bandit ball, which means a lot of gadgetry. Steve Spurrier is one of the few coaches I know, Tim, who incorporates gadget plays into his daily practice routine.
Tampa Bay has improved its ground game. It averages 199 yards per game in the last 4 games now. 134-yard average in the second half. This is Ricky Williams. 5 yards deep in the end zone. He'll down it there. It's a touchback. So they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And that's where Tampa and John Reeves will have it first down.
John Reeves, of course, quite a story. Checkered career in the NFL. Personal problems well documented. Booze and pills had him right backed up to his own goal line in the game of life. Had a spiritual transformation 3 years ago. Has turned his life and his game around.
They mark it at the 20. First down, Tampa. Anderson in motion, number 43. The pitch back to Anderson. He cuts back against the grain. Reeves throws a block. First down, Bandits. John Reeves threw the block that freed him and let him get the first down.
Let's take a look at John Reeves throwing that block. The pitch is to Gary Anderson, who comes from the wingback position. He sees traffic on the right, comes back to the left. Now Reeves is going to step in front of number 69, Mike Perko. Slows him down enough so that Anderson can get by. It's David Evans, number 26, who finally makes the tackle.
Short on technique, not the greatest block that you'll ever see, but it served a purpose. It was a cutoff block. Reeves on first downs, going deep. Overthrown. It was intended for Spencer Jackson. But Ricky Ray was with him step for step.
Spencer Jackson, a big play receiver who averaged 20.2 yards per reception during the regular season.
Spencer caught a touchdown pass for 21 yards against Birmingham last weekend. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 31-yard line. It was intended for Gary Anderson, but again, Ricky Ray was there and stripped him of the football. So now it'll bring up 3rd down and a taxi ride. They need 10 for the first.
Here comes the play from the sideline. Steve Spurrier sending it with Larry Brodsky, who we see now. He's coming off the injured list.
Played in the first half. We talked about that. Wilfred Morgan goes out. Brodsky to the bottom of the screen. To the top is Willie Gillespie. Marvin Harvey now flexes. They've got 5 receivers and 5 defensive backs. Everybody's covered. The pass is to Gillespie. He has it, but drops it.
The tail end of the play, Gillespie, number 88, working on Dennis Woodbury, number 21. Look how deep he goes before he makes his cut to the outside. The ball is thrown perfectly, and he doesn't look it in. He loses his concentration.
Right in the end position to punt, high spiraling punt. It'll take Frederick back to the 20-yard line. Gets a block, cuts back to the 30, to the 35, and knocked out of bounds at the 37-yard line by Lonnie Johnson. So the Stallions will have the ball for the first time in the second half following a 49-yard punt. Our score is 17-11. Tremendous knowledge of the game, and he gives this club experience and leadership. Right now, he's just waiting for another opportunity to get his offense on the field. Cliff Stout is the man at the helm right now in the white. Number 18 for Birmingham. The numbers on Cliff Stout for the afternoon. From the 38-yard line. First down. Joe Cribbs. Joe Cribbs may have lost a yard. Mike Clark recovered nicely and made the tackle from the backside. Well, they say happiness is pursuit, and that time the defense had it.
Joe Cribbs leaving the game.
That offensive lineup now for you. Earl Gant, Leon Perry are the running backs. Cliff Stout is the quarterback. Wide receivers, Toller and Jim Smith. Stout now with some pressure. Just drops it underneath to Leon Perry. And Perry goes down at the 42-yard line. Doug Bedoin, the veteran out of Minnesota, comes up to make the tackle. As you look at Leon Perry and the heat of the moment, when the game started, it was 117 degrees. That's Chris Foote, the center.
That's playing it cool. Everyone needs a big fan.
Let me set that offensive line for you now. It is Pat Phoenix, Pat Saindon. Tom Banks is the center for Birmingham. Buddy Idolette and Robert Woods. Robert Earl is the tight end. It is 3rd and 7 at the 41. Toller in motion. Stout, quick drop, throws the out pattern to Smith, first down. So Jim Smith gets the first down. He's run out of bounds by Warren Hanna, number 20.
Blitz right here. We have the blitz by Evans, by Anderson, number 26 right there. Pressures the passer. Jim Smith is in the slot, coming from the inside to the outside on a combination pattern. Warren Hanna, number 20, is on the coverage. The ball thrown perfectly by Stout.
Play action to Leon Perry. They're going for Smith again, and it's another first down. Stallions. Birmingham is going to have to ride up to the line of scrimmage, bump and run a little bit, play a tighter man because they're hurting them on the corners.
Cliff Stout. I like to watch Cliff Stout and Jim Smith go to work because they're so fundamental the way they approach their intermediate pass cuts. Look what's happening down in Houston.
13-3. Houston has the lead. Tony Fritz another field goal. It looks as if Birmingham is working against Bruce Vaughn, the cornerback. That's the man they're working on right now. This is Earl Gant. Pretty good head knocking going on right now. Mike Clark is the man who came up and made first contact. He's 6'4", 247. There's Leon Perry putting his hat back on, strapping it on.
Reflecting back to the Arizona-Houston score a moment ago, Tim, they're playing for the right to play Los Angeles, but strangely enough, that game could be played in Arizona next week.
First time I've seen it in football that the team wins the home field, could win the home field and forfeit that. They couldn't find a place to play. Getting ready for the Olympics at the LA Coliseum. So they forfeit the home field. This is 2nd and 8. Stout with time, has Joey Jones and overthrows him. Jones was open. He was working on Jeff George.
Joey Jones working on Jeff George, number 33. We've seen him run this post cut before. Up the field, A little out move back to the inside. Now the ball is thrown high right here. High and a little bit behind him. Had Stout put that ball a little bit more in front and a little bit lower, he had the man beat. He was in the right area for the post pattern.
Well, in all fairness to George, it was zone coverage, and Jones had gotten into the coverage, into the seam. He was open, and it was overthrown. So it wasn't entirely Jeff George's fault. He was not working man for man. This is 3rd and 8 for Stout. Big third down play. It was intended for Jim Smith. It was knocked away nicely by Keith Clark. So Danny Miller will come on now to attempt the field goal. Miller made a 42-yarder in the second quarter. This one from 49 yards. Snap is good. The hold is down. He didn't get all of the kick, but it does have the distance, and it makes it. So the kick is good. Coming into this ball game, his longest was 47 yards against Philadelphia. This one from 49. And it gives Birmingham just a little bit of breathing room. They now lead 20-11. So we have 10 minutes and 25 seconds remaining in the third quarter in Birmingham. When we come back, Tampa. Number 25 is Alvin Bailey. He's a 5'10", 183-pound speedster out of Alcorn State. Number 44 you saw was Ricky Williams. He's out of Florida State. He's 5'10", 173, runs a 4.5 40. Andy Miller is the man that'll be kicking off for Birmingham. We've got 10 minutes, 25 seconds remaining in the third quarter. End-over-end kick that is taken by Ricky Williams. Gets a hold to the 20, to the 27-yard line.
Good slashing run there on the return by Ricky Williams, who is the third leading rusher on the team. There's quite a drop-off from the first two rushers to the number 3 rusher. Greg Boone has 1,009 yards, Anderson 1,008. Then you drop off to Ricky Williams, who has 142.
John Reeves is the quarterback. Greg Boone is the lone setback, number 21. Gary Anderson is in motion. Reeves on first down, throws incomplete to Willie Gillespie. So the last two passes have been to Willie Gillespie, and he's dropped them both. Chuck Clanton was the man who came up and made the hit.
Pretty good coverage by Clanton, but the ball was definitely catchable. Clanton, we mentioned, was out of action last week with a hand injury, as was Woodbury. That took 17 interceptions out of their secondary. However, we kind of felt that they would both be back for the playoffs.
What about Willie Gillespie? He's dropped 2 he should have had.
It's because of a breakdown in concentration. And the most important thing for a receiver is you look the ball into your hands. All of the great ones have always done that, and they practice that way too.
2nd and 10 from the 28. John Reeves now 0 for 4 in the second half. Throws across the middle, and Boone drops it.
Case in point, Greg Boone did exactly the same thing. He looked upfield before he had the football.
Tampa Bay can't afford to have these miscues if they want to stay in the ball game with Birmingham.
Third straight drop for Tampa Bay. Talked about how they've outscored their opponents in the third quarter. May not be the case today. They've got to get something going.
Stallions, the type of club that can blow you out. They've had some big ones this year. They beat Memphis 54-6. Worked Philadelphia over 43-11. No, they lost rather. So it goes both ways. This is Reeves on 3rd and 10. Intercepted by Clanton. Chuck Clanton intercepted, takes it back to the 25. Chuck Clanton's 12th interception of the year, his second today.
These are the types of plays that you feel might be turning points. This is when you can feel it turning decisively in favor of one team or the other. The intended receiver for Tampa Bay is number 89, Willie Gillespie, and with perfect timing, Clanton judges the ball right, moves in front of him, and then takes it toward the end zone.
Right now, it just looks as if Birmingham wants it more. First down. Stallions. Perry. To the 7-yard line. Leon Perry. Joe Cribbs through the block.
You can feel the emotional energy of this stadium. Look at the blocking on the left side. This is good fundamental football. This is Raleigh ball. Crisscrossed by the lineman, lead block by Joe Cribbs. And big Leon Perry, all 248 pounds of him, pulls his way into the secondary.
Influence blocks, they run the trap. It sets up first and goal from the 7. Perry bangs left side, down inside the 5 to the 3-yard line. Right now, Chuck Clams with Mike Adamley.
Chuck, you really seem to have a third sense about those interceptions. You see Reeves roll to his right, and you were right there. I don't think he ever saw you.
No, you see, we were in a read coverage where we're doubling Gillespie, and that's where he was going. But luckily, I was there to get him.
So you saw it all the way, huh?
Read it all the way.
Okay, great interception. Timmy?
All right, Mike, it sets up second and goal from the 3. Everybody in tight, 2 tight ends. Earl in motion. They give us to Cribbs. 5. Touchdown, Stallions.
Cribbs is a smart runner as well as a fast runner. Watch how he senses it here. He gets a block from Robin Earl, number 89. Sees that the outside is clear. The block is on Keith Clark, and he sprints to the end zone.
Danny Miller's extra point kick is good.
One more look at the blocking along the offensive line. The pulling guard on the right. Number 64, number 74, and Joe Cribbs comes to the outside here after a little dip back to the inside.
So Joe Cribbs puts Birmingham up 27-11 with 7 minutes and 59 seconds remaining in the third quarter. The crowd is excited. Championship game. The Los Angeles Express against the winner of today's Arizona-Houston game. Houston now has the lead in that ball game. Then on Sunday, ABC's USFL coverage continues. It'll be the Eastern Conference Championship. Tampa Bay or Birmingham will go against Philadelphia at Franklin Field. Here in Birmingham, the Stallions have the lead, 27-11. 7:59 remaining in the third quarter. Ricky Williams, 5-yard sweep. Wants to run it out. And then downs it for the touchback. They'll bring it out to the 20. So when we bring it out to the 20, John Reeves will have to go to work. He's got 7:53 left in this quarter, but he trails. Tim Brantley, Gross Cup at Legion Field. And my question for you, Cupper, is this a critical drive now, or is there still plenty of time?
Absolutely, very much so for John Reeves. He has 8 straight incomplete passes. He's 0 for 6 in this half.
Clanton looks like he's going to stunt, now drops off. They show zone defense. The man in motion is Harvey. Reeves to throw, under pressure. Has a man, it's Anderson. And Anderson takes it up to the 26-yard line. Almost every play, these two clubs are having words. Two teams that don't like each other much.
Even though Reeves completes this pass, Tim, look how the pressure continues. Dave Purifoy flies some right there. All day long. Even when he hasn't been sacked, he's been hurried.
2nd and 4 from the 26. Anderson. Not much. Taft sails the linebackers. The one that read it skated down the line and made the tackle.
He was a big play man at the University of Missouri. He triggered that upset over Oklahoma last season. That was a 10-zip game in which Ole Mizzou beat Oklahoma at Columbia, Missouri.
Hurry up offense, 3rd and 3 from the 27. This is Anderson. He didn't get it. There is a flag. against Tampa Bay. So they'll move them back. They don't get a break this time. And they'll have to punt it. So Zenon Andrusician will come on.
Holding. Number 21, red. Penalty decline. 4th down.
They called it on Greg Boone, the running back. Unusual call. Zenon Andrusician comes on. He will have to give it back to Birmingham.
So the Z-Man goes back to work. He's had a hot leg for 2 straight weeks.
Fake. First down. Bandits.
They centered it to Zach Henderson, normally a defensive back, number 23, who was in the short punt set there. Haven't seen this play in a long time. Zach Henderson on the left of the center, number 23, takes the snap. Falls in behind 2 blockers there. Makes a cut into the seam and is brought down by number 58 of Birmingham. That's Taft Sales, the linebacker.
Bandit ball pays off. It'll be first down to the 33. We've got 6:08 remaining, 3rd quarter. John Reeves under pressure, throws deep, has a man, it's overthrown. Willie Gillespie's pointing back, wanted pass interference on Ricky Ray. No call.
He was out there. He was 5 yards behind the nearest defender. He thought Ricky Ray interfered with him. Those are signals from Steve Spurrier indicating the calls.
Ronnie Padgett comes out of the ball game. Fred Bohannon comes in. So Birmingham now goes to its nickel defense. 5 defensive backs. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 33. Long count by Reeves. Sprint right. And again, there's a mix-up in the pattern. Reeves threw outside. Gillespie came inside. And that tells it all. You can't have mental breakdowns in a playoff game and expect to win. Now in the 4th quarter, Houston leads Arizona 13-3. So it looks like the Gamblers are holding on against George Allen's Wranglers. The winner of that game plays Los Angeles next week for the Western Conference Championship. Reeves now 1 for 9 in the 2nd half. Third and 10, he's got to throw. He's got a man. It's complete. And Marvin Harvey comes up with the first down. So they're scrambling, but it's been productive. They put themselves in a hole. They come back and get 2 first downs.
That's a safe man to come back to. Marvin Harvey has emerged as one of the premier tight ends in the league, leading receiver on the team, and that's been one of his most effective pass cuts. It's the crossing route. Reeves rolling to his right after a fake to Anderson and throwing back across to Harvey. He's now 9 of 24 in the game, 2 of 10 in this half.
Harvey came into this game with 13 catches in the 2 games against Birmingham. He loves to play the Stallions. From the 45, first down, flags fly. There is a penalty. Reeves has time, drops it off to Boone, and again another flag flies. We have one flag near the right hash mark in midfield, the other by the sideline. He's no quitter, that man, Steve Spurrier. He'll keep his club in this ball game. Offsides, Tampa Bay, holding Tampa Bay.
The book on Steve Spurrier is he'll find a way to beat you, no matter what it is. Golf, checkers, ping pong, tiddlywinks, whatever.
He was the Heisman Trophy winner in 1966 and a first-round draft pick of the 49ers in 1967. Played 9 years in the NFL. He was also the first quarterback taken in the NFL expansion draft. Went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Offside against the offense is decline. Holding. Number 70, offense is accepted. Still first down.
So the holding was against John Canine. They move it back. It'll be 1st and 20 now from the 35. Reeves under pressure. Backside screen to Boone to the 30. Gets a block to the 35 up near the 40-yard line. So they get some of it back.
Hand signals from Steve Spurrier simply indicating to John Reeves either the formation or the entire call. We have 4 generations of Florida quarterbacks, if you want to go back all the way to the 50s. Jimmy Dunn, assistant coach out of the 50s. Spurrier out of the 60s. Reeves out of the 70s, and Wayne Peace out of the 80s.
It'll be 2nd and 15. They spread everybody wide. Even their tight end, they flex him off 5 yards. Reeves to throw it into coverage again. And it's almost intercepted. Now a flag comes out. It'll be pass interference. Dennis Woodbury, Fred Bohannon with the men back there covering, along with 55, Herb Spencer.
The hell?
And there is an injury.
Tail end of the last play. Ricky Ray, number 27, is on the coverage of Anderson, number 43. He closes in, along with 2 other Birmingham players, Bohannon and Spencer.
Good call by the official. You saw the contact before the football was there. Here's the call.
Pass interference. Number 27 defense. First down.
Number 27 is Ricky Ray out of Norfolk State, and there still is a man down on the field, one of the Birmingham players, and I believe it is Ricky Ray.
Both men have a right to the football, but you cannot have premature contact.
It is Ricky Ray. They're working on his left leg. The trainer and the doctor are there to assist him up near midfield. So with timeout on the field, we'll take one. Houston leads Arizona 16-3, that game in the 4th quarter. Again, we tell you that the winner of that game goes on to play Los Angeles next Saturday. You can watch it on ABC Sports. They have helped Ricky Ray off the field. It was a leg injury. He is replaced by Von Mansfield, and that man right there knows it. We'll see if they start picking on Mansfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Backside pressure. Throws, has a man. To the 20-yard line goes Willie Gillespie. So Tampa Bay has put a drive together. And now it's Herbie Spencer who's slow getting up.
Very important drive developing here for Tampa Bay. Combination pattern on the right side. Willie Gillespie, number 89, is on the inside. Wilfred Morgan on the outside. It's Gillespie who curls in there and is finally brought down by Von Mansfield and Herb Spencer.
First down at the 20. Reeves going for it all. Has a man. Touchdown, Bandits! There's a flag on the play. Wilfred Morgan made the catch. We have not seen a signal.
Steve Spurrier thinks it must be against Birmingham.
John Reeves went to the bundle. The ball had to be perfectly thrown. It was.
Pass interference. Number 21 defense. Decline. Touchdown.
So it's against Dennis Woodbury. The touchdown will stand. We've got ourselves a ball game, Lee Grosscup.
And John Reeves, after a sluggish start in the second half, now has 11 of 26 for 162 yards. Remember, we saw him do this against Philadelphia earlier. Reeves straight drop back here. And watch the interference call against Dennis Woodbury, number 21, as Wilfred Morgan, an acrobatic receiver, goes up for the football right there. He was face guarding him, but it doesn't count.
Tampa Bay going for 2 again. They were successful the first time they tried it. Anderson in motion. Reeves, backside pressure, overthrows the receiver. It's intended for Wilfred Morgan.
Big play by Bill Rowe, number 52. Blindside pressure on John Reeves.
Well, the touchdown pass, it looked like man coverage by Dennis Woodbury. He was man for man. They come back for the two-point conversion. Again, it's man, but it's overthrown. Great pressure backside. And he had to hurry the throw.
So now we got a 10-point ball game, 27-17. The backside pressure by row number 52, right in the number 7 of John Reeves as he tries to throw for the end zone. He was trying to throw for Wilford Morgan underneath the goalpost.
Now the offensive lineman who comes up and lines up without a man over his head has to pick up the backside pressure. Nobody did. He came through cleanly for the sack. Actually, they won't give him a
scoring drive of the day for Tampa Bay because it gets them back into the football game. They moved 80 yards in 10 plays and used up 4 minutes and 36 seconds.
As you look at Willie Gillespie, let me tell you, there are a couple of big plays in that drive. They went on 4th down on a fake punt, got the first. Came back on 3rd and 10 with a pass and got the first. And then went for the big play and got the touchdown. Zenit Androsian, number 9 out of UCLA, is on the punt, or on the kickoff rather. Lonnie Johnson, Von Mansfield of the deep end. This will be Lonnie Johnson at the 14. Good field possession for Birmingham as he rides it all the way back up to the 28-yard line. Have you seen enough football in the last 2 days, Lee Gross Cup?
I was trying to think about it. Conceivably, we could have, by the end of the day, we could cover a minimum of 11 quarters of football in 2 days. Do we make the Guinness or not?
Yesterday, the longest football game in history. 4 hours, 3 minutes.
Birmingham, we've talked about their ball control tendencies, and look at what they have done today. They have already had the ball for 25 minutes and 43 seconds. That's Raleigh ball.
Now it's the defensive Tampa Bay that has to rise to the occasion. First down on the 29. Scout to go for the big one. And it's complete to Jim Smith. Now they say it's no good. He made the catch, came down, and lost the football. And again, there's an injury. Well, this looks like a cramp. When the game started, it was 117 degrees down on the field. Zach Henderson has a cramp.
Jim Smith, number 86, running a route along the sidelines. Gets up here. He's working beyond Bruce Vaughn, number 30, in the zone coverage. Coming over is Zach Henderson, number 23. Now it's an individual jump ball. Good effort there by Zach Henderson as he wrestles the ball away from Jim Smith, but in the process, gets a cramp in his leg.
Actually stripped him on the ground. It'll be second down from the 29. It's a broken play, and it looked like Leon Perry jumped the count. John Reeves right now is with Mike Adamley. Michael?
John, I think it's a tribute to the persistence of the Tampa Bay offense with all the broken plays today and drop passes that you're still in this contest.
That's right. We still want to fight. We're not going to give up. 2:41 left in the third quarter here. We got plenty of time.
Tell us about the touchdown to Wilford Morgan.
Well, it's a streak, and Wilford's got an uncanny ability to jump up and make catches like that, and that's why we did it.
Why have you guys been out a little out of sync today?
Well, a lot of it's to do with Birmingham playing tough, but we're not as fluid as we'd like to be.
Okay, John, thank you. Timmy?
Okay, Mike, thank you. A very candid John Reeves, and they are out of sync. They haven't had the rhythm that we've seen them in the past. They had that rhythm last weekend right here when they beat this very Birmingham Stallion team 17-16. Big play for the Stallions. 3rd and 10 from the 29. Toller in motion. Stout throws. It's Toller. Breaks a tackle and almost has the first down. Comes up 2 yards shy. Warren Hanna was the man who made the hit on Toller.
So bring on the punting team, and Bandit ball goes back to work.
Raleigh Dodge now becoming concerned. It looked for a moment like his team could break it open. Now they lead by 10, and we still have 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Bob Parsons is the punter. Alvin Bailey, you see there, is the return man. Bailey doesn't know what the word means. Fair catch, or the term. 18-yard line, takes it back to the 27, but he's nailed by Buddy Idelette. A 45-yard punt. tomorrow night on ABC. Don't forget, live, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Monday Night Baseball continues, and we've got 2 outstanding ball games for you. In the American League, the Detroit Tigers try to widen their lead against the very tough Chicago White Sox. That game out of Comiskey Park. And the Chicago Cubs surprising everybody, challenging for the lead, going against the San Diego Padres. Monday Night Baseball on ABC. Lonnie Johnson still down on the ground after that return.
We have really seen some hitting out there today. The late Vince Lombardi once summed up football. He said, dancing is a contact sport. Football is a hitting sport. Hard to define the nature of that injury, and I think it would be bad to speculate, Tim.
It's been that type of day. We've seen injuries. We've seen cramps.
Walking wounded.
That's Ricky Ray, who injured his knee and was helped off the field in the last possession. 117 degrees on the field when the game started. It has heated up a little bit more than that, I would presume. Although it is overcast now where we had the sun before, it's a hazy day in Birmingham.
That's a telling statistic right there. Field position is so important because when you have good field position, Tim, you can utilize your entire repertoire of plays. When you have poor field position, you're limited in your repertoire.
They're helping Johnson off, and it looks like another leg injury. Still in the fourth quarter, Houston leading Arizona 16-3.
It's beginning to look a lot like Los Angeles, Houston at the Dome next week.
Well, what a game that will be. Houston with the run and shoot offense on Saturday, going against Los Angeles. Jim Kelly against Steve Young. And then, of course, this game on Sunday. The Eastern Conference, the winner here today goes against Philadelphia at Franklin Field. The pitch back to Boone. Boone, tough yardage, tries to get out of the pile and can't. That'll bring up 2nd and 8.
10 minutes still left in that game down in Houston, so anything can happen. I know George Allen wants that game a lot. So does Roman Gabriel. Remember the story?
Tell it. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Bandit ball, trick play. It's diagnosed by Birmingham, and that electrifies the crowd.
Is that the lonesome polecat play?
That's what they call it. They put it in this week.
The lonesome polecat play. That means the center is eligible, and the center is usually played by a wide receiver.
Again, no huddle. And again, the awkward formation.
Remember, the center is eligible.
There he is. And again, it's diagnosed. They dropped the football. Birmingham has it. There is a flag down, however.
John Reeves is smiling.
It's against Birmingham. Well, for a minute it looked like touch football down the street.
Lonesome polecat formation. Power to the left. Eligible men on the right. Ball thrown and completed to number 80, Wilford Morgan. He's sandwiched there. Recovery apparently. Let's listen.
12 players on the defense, participating. 5 yards.
No wonder they anticipated it and fenced it so well. They had 12 men on the field.
In Canada, that's legal. Not in the United States.
They had 2 receivers to the right. They had the center at midfield. They had everybody else to the left. They threw to the center, but there were 12 men on the field for Birmingham.
Birmingham penalized 9 times now for 80 yards.
Wonder how long it took Steve Spurrier to teach his wide receiver Wilford Morgan to snap the football.
Gives us a first down here.
Steve Spurrier wants the first down. Raleigh Dodge wants 3rd.
Well, Wilford Morgan is a young player with a lot of talent. I don't think it took him too long to learn to snap the ball.
excitement, we've got it.
They say that Bandit ball is synonymous with unpredictability. They will do anything at any time from anywhere on the field.
Five-yard penalty from the previous spot. The down goes over. Third down.
So Raleigh Dodge wins out. It'll be third down, 3 yards for the first. The ball on the 32-yard line, Tampa Bay. Reeves. Incomplete. Intended for Willie Gillespie. Poorly thrown. Gillespie was open, had the first down yardage. It was thrown behind him.
Steve Spurrier is furious. They had the right call at the right time. The pattern was there. Reeves threw the ball behind his man.
It's been that kind of day for Tampa Bay.
Jimmy Jordan right there talking to assistant coach John Roush, who was a head coach with 2 different NFL teams, Raiders and the Bills.
4th and 6, seen in end position. Gets off a high spiraling punt that'll take Ron Frederick to the 25-yard line. He returns it to the 29. A 42-yard punt by Zenon Androsian. And a 4-yard return.
So Birmingham will go to work once again. 21 seconds remaining in this third quarter. Again, they have opportune field position as they start from their own 29, 30-yard line. Steve Spurrier is a study in frustration right now as he kicks the dirt, has a perplexed countenance here in the second half. He is a frustrated man right now, and not too surprising. He likes to win anytime.
21 seconds remaining in the third quarter. First down, Birmingham. This is Cribbs, right side. Picks up 3. It'll be 2nd and 7.
This rivalry keeps heating up. It's been a good one.
The frustration of Steve Spurrier, I think, is compounded by the fact that he was out on the field as a player so often himself, and he knows that he could execute. He hates to see the lack of execution. He hates to see the breakdown. And right now, his team is broken down, and they trail by 10. So that's the end of the third quarter. United States Football League action continues. Tampa Bay and Birmingham after an exclusive presentation of ABC Sports. Today's game is being brought to you by Michelob Light, an exceptional light beer with a rich, smooth taste. And by Chevrolet, with the performance, the style, the innovation, the quality, and the value that make up today's Chevrolet. We've got 15 minutes remaining at Legion Field. The Birmingham Stallions have a 10-point lead. They also have the football. It's 2nd and 7 from the 33-yard line to start the final stanza. Joey Jones, Jim Smith, the wideouts. Leon Perry, Joe Cribbs, the backs. This is Perry. Right now, let's go to New York. Jim Lampley has this USFL report.
Tim, through 3 quarters, the Arizona rushing tandem of Tim Spencer and Kevin Long could generate only 24 yards. But now, Spencer has broken through for this 20-yard touchdown run. And it's 16-10 Houston with 6 minutes to go. Jim Kelly, 44 TDs in the regular season, none today. Back to Tim Brand.
So Jim Lampley, you keep an eye on that one for us. We've got a whale of a football game there. We've got Birmingham leading by 10 here. Joe Cribbs, first down. Loses the football, fumble. Tampa Bay. Well, we'll have to wait to see when they unpile. Now Cliff Stout says that Hay got it back. Nonetheless, there's a wrestling match at the bottom of the pile. Robert Earl, the big tight end out of Washington, comes up with the football. Alonzo Johnson made the hit. The ball popped loose, and Robert Earl got it back. It'll be first down at the 46. like a little bit confusion.
Very much confused. He might have to call timeout, or he's going to get penalized. He better hurry up.
3 down linemen. Outside linebackers applying the pressure. Perry. Face mask. We'll wait and see. Bruce Vaughn is the man who made the tackle. It is a face mask against Tampa Bay. We could see that up here.
On the monitor. No, I know what you mean. I saw it. Leon Perry, number 30.
Defense, still first down.
Here it is right here. Number 53 is Paul Borowski, the linebacker.
It'll be 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Perry, flea flicker, Stout, looks deep, now in trouble, and overthrows his tight end purposely. Well, he got in trouble. Everybody was covered, so he overthrew Robin Earl just to alleviate the sack. Ken Toller looked like he was open.
Raleigh Dodge has the reputation of being a conservative coach, but he will surprise you at times. He will go for the big play on 4th down. He'll also use an occasional gadget play. The numbers on Cliff Stout reflected there, 10 of 21 on the day.
That's the story. 13 minutes, 36 seconds remain. A 10-point lead. The Tampa Bay defense has to stop Birmingham now. 2nd and 4. Stout pumps, reloads, now looks to his tight end. Earl has the first down. Leon Perry having a few words with Paul Borowski. And I'll guarantee you those words aren't arable.
Good pump fake here by Cliff Stout, looking to his left first. He pump fakes at Smith. Now moves back to his right. Good escape dimension. Drops the ball off to Robin Earl, number 89, a former running back out of the University of Washington. This was Smith and the pattern that he ran. It's a sideline and up. Stout 11 of 21.
Leon Perry rambles down inside the 20-yard line.
Oh, the tempers are really flaring up, Tim. We got a fracas going on down here.
Now Joe Cribbs tries to come over. Settle things down, talks to some of the defenders. Joe Cribbs, peacemaker.
Leon Perry has really made a difference for them this year. Running behind a unit known as the Mule Team, they have voted Leon Perry as an honorary mule.
Leon Perry bulked up to 248 pounds. He's out of Ole Miss. Joey Jones comes back in. Toller goes out. At the bottom of the screen is Jim Smith. Joe Cribbs, stutter steps. Picks up one, but then he runs into Ron Simmons. And Cribbs wants to go after him. Well, they're losing their composure right now in the heat of battle. We saw this scramble last week. Two clubs that don't like each other very much.
They will scratch and they will claw. And they will keep coming at you. I think it's one of the most intense rivalries in the short history of the United States Football League.
It'll bring up 3rd and 3 at the 18. They bring out Joey Jones and Jim Smith. Two tight ends, Jay Repko, Robin Earl. Little cross buck. Open, but he drops the football incomplete. Paul Borowski was the man who read the play and made the tackle.
No fumble, it's just an incompletion. You called it right. I was wrong. Good action here. Misdirection action in the backfield before Stout rolls. and he dumps it off in the flat to Leon Perry. Very catchable pass. Perry should have the ball. Remember another thing, the heat and the humidity, your hands get sweaty, Tim. Sometimes the ball will slip through.
Danny Miller to attempt a 30-yarder. You saw the numbers there. From the 30 to the 39 yards, he's 4 for 4. So his 35-yard field goal is good. And Danny Miller lengthens the lead. 10 minutes, 54 seconds remain. And seconds remain in the game out west. And Arizona has the football, trailing by 6.
George Allen's Wranglers could still win that game. Would that be something?
Here in Birmingham, we've got 10 minutes and 54 seconds remaining. And the Stallions lead it 30-17. This will be Ricky Williams from the 5, the 10, the 20. Gets a hole. Out close to the 30. He nails it at the 30-yard line. Ron Mansfield is the man who took him down there.
Ricky Williams, who had an incredible career at Florida State playing for Bobby Bowden there, has been effective on returns for them, and he's the third leading rusher on the team. John Reeves going to work on what might be the most important drive of the afternoon for Tampa Bay as we look at the rushing yards. Joe Cribbs has outgained the entire Tampa Bay team.
Wilfred Morgan goes to the top of the screen. The bottom of the screen. Jerry Anderson. First down. They're going deep to Morgan. Intercepted by David Evans. He was out of bounds. Or was he? David Evans, number 26, is still down. They do say he was out of bounds.
I think it's a good call, Tim. Remember, this is a 2-foot league. 2 feet have to be in bounds for either a completion or an interception. John Reeves, from his viewpoint, sets up in the pocket at 7 yards, throwing along the left sideline and aiming for his wide receiver, Wilfred Morgan. I don't know. That's a very questionable call because the feet were in. He was carried out of bounds.
So Tampa Bay gets a break. Whether they can capitalize, we'll have to wait and see. However, this is the best starting field position for Tampa this afternoon. 39-yard line's the best they've had. So with timeout on the field, we'll take one as well. 10 minutes, 20 seconds remain. And
Tim, Birmingham gets a bad call here because David Evans intercepts the pass clearly. Now, his feet are inbounds, but he is thrown out of bounds here. So you see, but 1 foot was all that really touched.
Well, it's a judgment call by the official. He has to make the decision whether his other foot would have touched had he not been hit and ridden out of bounds. I say yes, bad call. 2nd and 10 from the 30. Reeves under pressure, rolls right, and it's almost intercepted. Well, Jackie Klein had it in his bare paws. Had he made that catch, he would have been Katie bar the door. There was nobody in front of him. It would have been a touchdown for Jackie Klein.
The pass rush has been the key all afternoon. Birmingham stressed that. They said that it would be important to pressure John Reeves. He is not the most active quarterback. Joe Cuglieri, number 95, is in there. It's one of the things that can hurt a quarterback who doesn't have the quick feet, say like a Steve Young that we saw yesterday.
Jackie Klein will be thinking about that one for days to come. He was already reading the headlines of tomorrow's paper and dropped the football. 3rd and 10. Reeves throws. Complete to Frederick, first down. Check that. Larry Brodsky, number 82. First down, Bandits.
Good fundamental pass there on the intermediate completion. Brodsky ran a deep hook pattern, and the way to throw that hook is to throw it low and hard, so nobody can come in front. Safe pass.
Brodsky and Morgan to the top. Gary Anderson to the bottom of your wide receivers. This is first down. Greg Boone up close to another first down. Loses the football. There's a scramble. Birmingham says it got it. Steve Spurrier. Still no signal from the officials. There it is. Birmingham has the ball. And it's David Evans who comes up with it.
But it was Herbie Spencer, once again, number 55, who got the hard hit on Greg Boone that knocked the ball loose, setting it up for David Evans, the X-back.
We've got 9 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this ball game. The Stallions make another big turnover. They're plus 18 in
New York with the latest from the Astrodome. Remember Doug Dennison, who used to wear number 21 for the Cowboys? He wears that number now for the Arizona Wranglers. This touchdown catch, 11 yards from Greg Landry, with 1:49 to go in the Dome, has given Arizona its first lead of the day, 17-16 over Houston. Now back to Tim Brand.
So the Los Angeles Express are sitting home watching that one, wondering which team it will be, Arizona or Houston. Right now, the Wranglers have the advantage, and this is the key to our ball game. Tampa Bay, 4 turnovers, Birmingham, none. First down at the 46-yard line. Picks up 3 tough ones. It'll be 2nd and 7. Let's go back a little bit and watch the action of Herb Spencer.
Previous play, John Reeves, straight drop-back action, looks deep first, then dumps off to Greg Boone, number 21, running one of the underneath cuts. He swivels back to the outside, cuts back upfield. Here's the hard hit. Now watch Herbie Spencer as he wrestles, strips the ball loose, and here comes David Evans, number 26, another wrestling match, and he ultimately comes up with a football to give Birmingham their 4th turnover of the day, an opportunistic field position.
Of course, Birmingham's plus 18 in the giveaway takeaway stat, right up near the top of the league, tied with Philadelphia. It's 2nd and 6. Inside. Great hit by the linebackers. Paul Porowski made first contact. Lonzo Johnson, number 58, was there as well. To bring up 3rd and 3.
Leon Perry came of age in the 2nd game of the year in a game that we covered against the Los Angeles Express. He had not carried up until that time. He was the leading ball carrier in the first half of that game. The hero of the first half has gotten better week by week and really formed with Joe Cribbs, one of the top running tandems in the league.
Hard to believe a man that big was also a track athlete, sprinting in the 100 and 220. The fake to Perry, the throw to Cribbs, to the 40, the 30-yard line goes Joe Cribbs. And listen to this crowd.
Effective with play-action passes, Tim, because they establish the running game so well first. They are a team that will pound on you. Nobody pounds on you better than Birmingham, especially with tackle-to-tackle running, especially with trap plays. They faked the trap that time to Leon Perry, threw back in the flat to Joe Cribbs, and he's dangerous in the open field.
Cribbs and Perry complement each other so well. Down from the 30. This is Perry. Not much. Ron Simmons made the penetration. Big number 74. He's 260 pounds, and he met a brick wall with Leon Perry. They both went down in a huff.
Ron Simmons, number 74 out of Florida State, was a nose tackle there, and one of the best nose tackles they have ever had. He's the strongest man on the team. He was a nose tackle in the 3-man look. He is now a tackle in the 4-man look. They switched to that look in week 7. Since that time, they have won 11 out of 12 games. That, along with the emergence of John Reeves, has made the difference for Tampa Bay.
Mark Battaglia comes in. Jim Smith comes in. Lone setback is Joe Cribbs. It's 2nd and 11. They're looking for Smith, and it's overthrown. Zach Henderson and Bruce Vaughn were out there covering defensively. It was his own defense.
Jim Smith in isolation here from his wide receiver position. Curls at 12 yards. He sees that the ball is overthrown. He starts to make a move outside. You know, that ball appeared to be poorly thrown, but it was well thrown. It was a smart pass. That's one of the signs of a veteran quarterback, is when you can artistically throw the ball away.
Stout now 12 of 24 for 140 yards. This is third down and 11. It's complete, but it's short of the first down to Jim Smith. Jeff George was there. Good coverage. So Danny Miller will come on, and he'll attempt the field goal. So far, Danny Miller has hit one from 42, 49, and 35 yards. Big day from that little guy from the University of Miami. Spent the training camp with the Washington Redskins. Now he's here in Birmingham, and he's on his way to a title. George Allen has brought the experienced Arizona Wranglers back for the win, 17-16 over Houston. The winner now, Arizona, will host Los Angeles next Saturday for the Western Conference Championship. Lee Grosscup and I will be there. What a comeback by George Allen's
I believe that will be unprecedented in professional football playoff history for a host team to play at a visiting site.
Los Angeles forfeited the home field advantage. They couldn't find a place to play. Here, Danny Miller for a 42-yard attempt. It's long enough and it's good. So Danny Miller gets his fourth field goal of the day. He's hit from 42, 42, 49, and 35. And the score now, Birmingham 33, the Tampa Bay Bandits 17. We've got 5 minutes and 14 seconds remaining. Right now, Birmingham well in control on its way to the Eastern Conference Championship game. Championship game is all set. Los Angeles will travel to Tempe, Arizona to take on the Arizona Wranglers. First time I can remember in football history that a team has forfeited the home field for the championship game. And then Sunday afternoon, ABC will show you the Eastern Conference Championship game. Philadelphia will host Tampa Bay or Birmingham. That'll be at Franklin Field. You can watch both of those games next week. The Western Conference on Saturday, the Eastern Conference on Sunday. Miller's kick is a low kick. Ricky Williams takes it about the goal line. The 20. And that'll be all.
Tim, I want to tell you an interesting sideline to that Arizona victory. Roman Gabriel, the offensive coordinator, when he was coaching against Mouse Davis, the offensive coordinator of Houston in college, lost to Mouse 93-7. He said if he ever got a chance to coach against Mouse Davis again, he was going to find a way to beat him. Just a little sideline.
You know, George Allen must have had the defense playing extremely well today to hold the run-and-shoot offense of Houston.
Look at the time of possession numbers there.
First down, Reeves, backside pressure, drops it over the middle, pass interference, no call. Now the late flag comes out. The official on the play did not make the call. It came from the side judge. Bill Rowe hit Greg Boone early. Did not make the call, even though he was right on it.
Pass interference. Number 55 defense. First down.
The call was made by the side judge, and it's a good call.
There it is right there, and it's a perfect call. Obviously premature contact. And you see on the right of your screen, he's in perfect position, as you said, Tim.
And he didn't make the call.
He did not make the call, just as you said.
Side judge made the call. This is 1st and 10 from the 37. Again, he goes over the middle of Boone. Late hit, again, no flag. Let's go down to Joe Cribbs. He's with Mike Adamley.
Well, Joseph, before the game, we talked to Raleigh Dodge. He said it was really simple, the game plan. We have to control the ball, and I think today, running behind the Mule team, it was exceptional out there.
Well, we felt that we had to run the ball today. Last week, we played them, and they really shut our running game down. And we knew that in order for us to win the game, we had to run the ball well. And with the offensive line we got here, it makes my job real easy. All I got to to do is run to the holes, and it was great. We're playing good ball, and hopefully we'll be ready next week.
On to Philadelphia. Best of luck. Thanks, Joe. Timmy?
Well, the crowd roar you hear, Michael, is because the official got nailed. But there's holding against Tampa Bay, so everything in the play will be nullified. We're happy to say the official's up. He is limping a bit. That's Ed Manning, the umpire.
Five-step drop by quarterback John Reeves.
Holding.
Greg Boone, number 21
Number 64
there.
offense. Still second down.
There's where the referee gets hurt, right there. You're talking ligaments. Talking knee ligaments when you see that.
Well, I hope that's not the case. He's still in the game, and he's still limping around, but he is in the middle. He's all right. That's Ed Manning, the umpire. He is okay. Good news. Second and 13. The ball on the 34 again. Reeves has the pressure. And it's intercepted. This time by Dennis Woodbury. Woodbury at midfield. The fifth turnover of the game. Jackie Klein having a few choice words with Wilfred Morgan.
Remember, Woodbury and Clanton did not play last week, Tim. What a difference they have made today. Reeves throws his third interception of the day. He's trying to get the ball down to Wilfred Morgan, number 80, and in perfect position is safety man Dennis Woodbury, number 21.
Well, the discussion is about Jackie Klein and Wilfred Morgan, who had a heated discussion on the field, and it looks like they're going to mark it off against Tampa Bay.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness, number 80 on the defense. First down.
Number 80 is Wilfred Morgan. 3 minutes, 57 seconds remaining in this ball game. Birmingham leads at 33-17. And that's the story of the game. We told you that Birmingham leads the league, tied with Philadelphia in giveaway takeaways. They have lived up to that billing, coming in with 5 turnovers. Have forced 5 turnovers. And have capitalized on both of them. Cliff Stout all day to throw, and finally he just throws it out of bounds. Why are they passing here, Lee Gross?
Interesting call here as time winds down. Normally you would assume that they would just run the clock out. However, because of the fact that they have been so successful with their possession football game, they are able to utilize play-action passes and not get into the high-risk category.
It'll be second and 10 with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. Down to the 26-yard line. And again, they're following the blocking of Pat Saindon.
Pat Saindon, the strongest man on the team, Tim, number 74, is a powerlifting champion. He's number 74, blocking down on number 75. No, he's pulling right here, kicking out. And that sets it up for Leon Perry to cut inside the block, get into the secondary before he's brought down by number 56, Keith Clark, the linebacker.
Well, the story's been turnovers. Coming into this game, Reeves had gone 79 attempts without an interception. He has 3 today. Tampa Bay, 212 yards passing. Birmingham, 142. But the difference has been on the ground. Leon Perry, 14 carries, 71 yards. Joe Cribbs, 17 carries, 110 yards.
Difference has also been turnovers.
The bottom line, time of possession. This is Leon Perry to the 20-yard line.
Good Good lead block once again by number 20, Joe Cribbs. Sets free Leon Perry on the power pitch.
Coming up later on ABC World News tonight, Sunday with Sam Donaldson. The Soviets say no to the American proposal on weapons talks. And Dick Schaap reports on a man who has played both in the World Series and at Wimbledon. Should be interesting. Dick Schaap, Sam Donaldson, ABC World News Sunday.
The Phillies.
Do they play today?
These Phillies. Stallions on the field. The Phillies are on the sidelines. They've come to play.
Fans here in Birmingham enjoy their football. This is Tampa's final timeout. John Reeves, very disappointed. Did not throw an interception in his last 79 attempts. Today he's thrown 3.
Gary Anderson, also unspectacular today.
Don't forget, coming up next Saturday, it's all set in Tempe, Arizona. The Los Angeles Express with Steve Young take on the Arizona Wranglers. It'll be the young and the old. Greg Landry, a 17-year veteran. Steve Young, just a rookie. That's the Western Conference. Coming up Saturday on ABC's Wide World of Sports. And then the Eastern Conference. Birmingham and Philadelphia at Franklin Field. That'll be Sunday, and you can watch that one as well right here on ABC. 17-16 today. Arizona over Houston. Big game, big win for George Allen. This is Joe Cribbs to the 16-yard line. That was Tampa Bay's final timeout, by the way. So with 3 minutes and 1 second, the only thing to stop the clock now is the 2-minute warning.
Steve Spurrier, a man we've talked about throughout the afternoon, does not like to lose at anything. He plays every game to win, whether it's a preseason game or a meaningless game such as last week in terms of the final standing. This has got to hurt him.
2nd and 6 from the 15. Earl in motion. Stout inside the 15 to the 14 on a broken play.
Good call. That's not the counter option. That's not the whirly bird. That was a broken play.
Raleigh Dott's the only head coach I know that also is a specialty coach. Works full-time with the offensive line.
He's very much a believer in history. He feels that teams that run the best and defend against the run the best win the most historically. He was giving us a treatise on former Super Bowl teams, and he cited some of the teams who have had strong running games and active quarterbacks.
He also is an outstanding Irish tenor and loves to sing those little Irish ditties. Right now, he'll be singing all the way to the championship game next week in Philadelphia. The 2-minute warning.
Time, in case you missed it, here was the winning touchdown in the Arizona-Houston game. It came with 1:49 to go. It was set up by a great catch by Doug Dennison. Poetically, it was Dennison who took the ball into the end zone on the pass from Landry. Arizona will play L.A. next week in Tempe for the Western Conference Championship. Back to Tim Brand.
And Jim Lampley, you know that L.A. beat Arizona 24-17 in a pretty good ball game May 26th. Then they lost the final regular season game, but Steve Young did not play. He sat out and rested with bruised ribs. Arizona won that one big, 35-10. So the rematch is set Saturday, right here on ABC. This is 3rd down and 6. Stout rolls right, now throws deep, and overthrows Leon Perry. Let's go downstairs to Mike Adams.
Gotta go in.
Well, it looks like Cliff Stout is all right. We were going to stay here and see if maybe he was shaken up a little bit. It was Walter Carter who laid the hit on Stout. Walter Carter, the man who blocked the extra point last week to maintain that 17-16 win for Tampa.
This would really be a drastic blow to Birmingham to have the quarterback injured at this time in the game when the game is seemingly already won for Birmingham. It's Walter Carter, number 75, 6'4", 250 pounds out of Florida State, who really gives Cliff Schott a lick along the right sideline.
Danny Miller on to attempt the field goal. It'll be a 32-yarder. And it's good. So Danny Miller today is hit from 32, 42, 49, 35, and 42 yards. 18 points. Quite a story. 5 field goals ties the record set by Michelob. One smooth and mellow taste tells you that some things speak for themselves. By Chevrolet, with the performance, the style, the innovation, the quality, and the value that make up today's Chevrolet. By GMAC, the financing people from General Motors. And by AT&T Computers, the new computers from AT&T Information Systems. When you've got to be right, AT&T. This is how it happened today. The Stallions scored first. The Bandits came back. It was 7-3. And the Stallions just seemingly took over because Tampa Bay ran out of gas. 1 minute, 48 seconds left. 36-17 our score. Ricky Williams takes it at the 2. Tries to find a funnel. Can't. Barely gets back to the 19-yard line. Now let's go downstairs to Mike Adamle. Here's Michael.
Okay, Tim, you know, got to give a lot of credit to this Birmingham defense today. Michael, you guys didn't get a sack this afternoon, I don't think, but you put a lot of pressure on John Reeves, and I think that was a big key.
The important thing for us to do today was to win. It didn't matter how, it didn't matter if it looked pretty or not. We won. We're going to win. That's what's important.
We were worried about some of their trick plays earlier that third quarter. They pull off that lonesome polecat.
Well, we had to do it. We defended against that last couple of weeks. We always practice against those kinds of things. It worked for us.
Okay, thanks, Mike, and we'll see you next week in Philadelphia. Mike Perko, defensive end. All right.
All right, Mike Adamle and Mike Perko. We've got 1:32 remaining.
Jimmy Jordan in the game now at quarterback for Tampa Bay. Ricky Williams has replaced Gary Anderson at the running back spot. Jordan gave them some life in the second half last week. It's a little late now, though, Tim.
Jordan throws complete to Harvey up to the 43-yard line. Marvin Harvey. You know, it was interesting because Jimmy Jordan played well here last weekend. And Tampa Bay won 17-16 with Jordan at the helm. But when he was asked after the game, Steve Spurrier said, no question about it, John Reeves will play. He got us here. He'll go all the way. And he did that. Too late for Jimmy Jordan right now. Jordan up in the pocket, sidesteps one tackler, breaks another, and gains 2 on the play. Long way to go for 2 yards.
Jimmy Jordan, of course, was a great one at Florida State. Played in the most celebrated quarterback tandem in NCAA history. The other quarterback at the time was Wally Woodham. Has his degree in criminology, but plays for the Bandits, as you noted so well last week.
Jordan to Williams, and Williams gets into Birmingham territory. And a flag flies, late hit. The late hit's going to be on Chuck Pitcott, 64. Right now, Raleigh Dodge, the head coach of the Stallions, is with Mike Adamle.
Well, Raleigh, we talked about it before the game, what you had to do to win, and I think you did all those things. Control the football, and you did put pressure on John Reeves.
Well, this is true. We had to control the football, run the football, our style, and that's the way to beat Tampa Bay. Keep it away from them and put some points up there. And I think our offensive team did a fine job, and defensively we came up with some big plays. Special teams came up. So it's a team victory, Mike, and that's the way we like it, to have a team and win as a team, and if we lose as a team.
Okay, well, you won today, and congratulations. We'll see you next week in Philadelphia.
Okay, thank you very much.
Raleigh Dodge kept looking off to the side while he was talking to Mike, mainly because his player is down. It's Chuck Clanton who's still down on the field. He took what looked to be a cheap shot from Chuck Pitcott. Obviously a late hit.
Chuck Pitcock coming up right here definitely delivers a late hit on number 24, Chuck Clanton. To me, that's a flagrant violation of the rules. That should not be allowed. There's no place for that in professional football. The game is violent enough as it is. Wait a minute. That's number 34, Robert Gentry. No matter who it was, he got a late hit.
Chuck Clanton, number 24, was injured earlier. He's okay. Robert Gentry, 34, is now helped off the field. That's Chuck Pitcock. Second and 12 from the 40-yard line. We've got 38 seconds remaining. Harv Christian gets it back up to the 47-yard line.
Well, Tampa Bay's just phoning it in now, Timmy. This one's in the cooler.
Don't forget, coming up Monday Night Baseball, the Chicago Cubs, the San Diego Padres over the National League, and Detroit goes to Comiskey Park. Well, that'll be all for the Tampa Bay Bandits. They'll take the rest of the summer off. For the Birmingham Stallions, well, they'll go back to work. And they'll meet Philadelphia at Franklin Field next Sunday. You can watch it here on ABC. A very disappointed Steve Spurrier. And a very elated team, the Birmingham Stallions. So the matchups look like this. It's all down to 4 now on the road to Tampa Bay. Los Angeles and Arizona, that'll be Saturday. Then coming up on Sunday, the Eastern Conference Championship, Birmingham and Philadelphia. 36-17, the Stallions win here today. So coming up later on ABC, World News Tonight Sunday with Sam Donaldson. The Soviets say no to the American proposal on weapon talks. And Dick Schaap reports on that man who played both in the World Series and at Wimbledon. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies to Hong Kong from more top business centers with 3-class Royal Pacific service. We're saying